Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Tuesday, October the 16th, 2018. It's 7:49 a.m., and it's time to start the show. So yesterday, we had a really awesome show. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of topics. And if you thought it was just isolated to Monday, well, you're damn wrong, because today we have just as many topics, just as much fun, just as many poignant things, statements to make, if you will. So this morning's show, we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. First off, as usual, we have a little bit of Star Wars news, just like the title told you, because I'm not a clickbaity channel. If I tell you something's going to be here, well, damn it, it's going to be here. So we're going to be talking about the Star Wars trailer release date information. We're also going to be talking about this Rey Plagueis rumor, and believe me, I know you guys are wanting to get involved in that one. Then we're going to talk about Star Wars Celebration. Is this an outreach to the fans? Is this how they bridge the gap? Let's find out together. And then we have a few other topics, laughable topics at best. So, as always, folks, good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jeff. If you didn't know that already, well, you must be new to the channel. And there's a lot of new people to this channel, so good morning and welcome. Now, let's do what we always do. First off, let's take a look at Stealing Solo. Now, yesterday, we were so close to hitting a goal. We were going to hit 1,000 backers, and I was so excited. I thought to myself, yes, finally. And so yesterday I'm at the gym and I'm looking at the numbers. I send out a random tweet and boom, there we go. We've crossed the 1,000 backers. So now we're at 1,014 backers. And I thought to myself, awesome, it's time to just close up shop and ride off into the sunset. But not quite yet. If you look at this, we're at $39,809. So in another $191, we'll double our percentage goal of $20,000. So that's where I'm hoping we end up by this week. So if you haven't grabbed your copy, do it. Please do it, because you'll regret it. It won't come out. It's not going to go to stores. It's gone. So we're at the end of it. We have 5 days left in the campaign. I'm going to talk about this again during the High Council tonight, which is on Geeks and Gamers. But until then, if you're thinking about it, grab yourself a copy. 1,014 other people have. We've outsold that Captain Marvel trade paperback by about 200 copies. So that's exciting. And, yeah, it's the first world-class bullshitters comic. We've already passed our first stretch goal, so everyone that's involved is going to get their early bird certificate gift around Christmas time, and then we're going to move forward into the new year, where you guys get your copy of Stealing Solo early next year before Celebration, so you guys can read it and we can talk about it in person together. It'll be a lot of fun. So we're so close to another goal and another milestone. Hell, I'm proud. We're all proud. We're doing this as a community, and it's a lot of fun. So let's talk about the one other thing we're trying to do this morning, and that is getting the numbers of Good Morning Pop Culture up. So if you're a YouTuber, you know that to live stream on another channel and to monetize it, you need 1,000 subscribers and so many minutes viewed. Well, Good Morning Pop Culture has its own channel, and we are at 875 subscribers. So we need 125 more, and then we will be able to move Good Morning Pop Culture to its own channel. My plan is to move it over to that channel about November the 1st. That way this channel can continue on to do its own thing. Good Morning Pop Culture can build its own community over there and keep that thing growing. It'll be a bit of a challenge in the beginning to get people over there to spread the word, because we have 75,100 and change subscribers, but only 875 have jumped over to here. So we're going to have to spread the word and do this, organically as a community. But we're so close to getting that to happen. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And that way, like I said, I can help grow this channel continuously and then keep the live streams over on Good Morning Pop Culture there, because it builds the community. That's the thing I love about this show the most. I know people now. I may have not met some of you in person, but I know you. I know when somebody's having eye issues, or somebody, got hurt, or this or that, or where people work, and not in a creepy way. It's like, I know they're out on the road trucking this morning. So Good Morning Pop Culture has been very successful in regards to that. Salvador, thank you very much. I did not hit the dislike button. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit it. I did not. Oh, hi, Jeff. Oh, well, hi, Salvador. Welcome back to the show, man. I guess your night shift is over. But I love The Room so much. I could watch The Room every other day and be entertained. I know a lot of people dump on it as the worst movie ever made, and it is bad. But I genuinely enjoy watching the film. From the awkward sex scenes to the terrible acting to the just unnatural responses to certain questions. The Room has it all. And now we've done a commentary for The Room here on the channel. It was Dion, Dan, myself, Nick, and Hillary. That's Dion's wife. And we had a great time. So, maybe for 100,000 subscribers, we'll do another one where we'll all be on camera and we'll just have a lot of fun. Chano Cyber9 Avila, thank you very much. If you smell what the fandom menace is cooking. Jeff, you should include your pick from the World Class Bullshitter so your fans realize that it's Good Morning Pop Culture channel. Yeah, I can do that. I can put myself on the banner. I'll use my little illustrated me. like a Nintendo me. You guys remember those? The Miiverse? I was such a Nintendo fan as a kid. But, well, I can't say but. I'm kind of back into that camp. I had a video game this weekend, this tournament thing, and it was great, but the highlight was playing some Nintendo, some throwback. Brian Lape was there. He knows. So now that we're at past 200 viewers, that is not even a proper way to say a sentence, but now that we're past 200 viewers, let's start with today's main topic, the title topic, Star Wars Episode 9. Woo! Now, guys, this is probably the most hotly anticipated hot garbage film in history. You got people that are just morbidly curious to see how they fuck it up. Yesterday we talked about J.J. Abrams, through Oscar Isaac. We talked about how J.J. Abrams is allowing it to be a little more loose on the set. It's a little more improvisational. That wasn't the case with Solo, a Star Wars story. Old Kathleen was just like, nope, I'm not having it. It's my way or the highway. Well, Lord Miller took the highway right the hell out of Star Wars, and we had the biggest Star Wars flop, the only Star Wars flop in Solo, a Star Wars story. So congratulations, Kathleen Kennedy. You did it to yourself. But hey, because it failed the first time partially, let's try it again. You see, folks, since 2015, I've been saying, why is Star Wars trying to be like a Marvel movie? We start episode 7 with the crawl, which sounded hollow. And then we get, you talk, do I talk? Who talks first? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, God, it's that kind of humor. And then we get Finn, who can't really show humor. He's just bad at it. And then we get to episode 8, and it's, hello, your mother, all this other shit. So Poe Dameron, please, man, I hope your jokes come off better in the next one, because I can't handle that. And you know what I can't handle either is the fact that we have to wait for so long to get this trailer date. So I said it in the title. I'm going to say it now. Star Wars Episode 9's release trailer date reportedly revealed. Now, this comes from WeGotThisCovered.com, who takes their source from The Express. So take this with a giant grain of salt. But at the moment, the big question on everyone's mind is when the first trailer for Avengers 4 will drop. No doubt, it's no doubt imminent. But trying to guess exactly when Marvel plans to release that has turned into an activity which has spawned all kinds of wild rumors. There's another exciting trailer, though, that's coming down the pipeline. And while it may not be here as soon as the preview for Infinity War sequel, it'll surely be just as big of a deal. We are, of course, talking about the very first promo for Star Wars Episode 9, J.J. Abrams' trilogy capper that is now deep in production. Deep in production. With tons of set photos emerging over the last few weeks to prove it. It'll be some time before we get a proper look at it, but Express believes that the teaser for the film, as well as the title, will be revealed during the Super Bowl next year, which takes place on February 3rd. And this is a quote from the Express. The big rumor is that there will be a teaser attached to the Super Bowl, and the main trailer will come out on Star Wars Celebration in April in Chicago, claims the site. Of course, Disney has yet to confirm this, but given they usually have pretty big presence at the game, it's easy to imagine them sporting an event such as using this event as an opportunity to showcase Episode 9 to the world for the very first time. But it doesn't end there. Express also had a juicy scoop on the music being used for the preview, which they outline as follows. John Williams will compose a track mixed from music from the prequels and the original trilogy. It will be their way of letting fans subliminally know that the prequel content is coming. This special track won't be in the movie, but dedicated to the trailer only, the series writes, or the site writes. It's also said that the shots from the trailer will be scenes that will all be shot in IMAX. Obviously, this should be taken with a grain of salt. Now, let's look at this for a moment. This is me coming back. This isn't from We Got This Covered. This isn't from The Express. So, the teaser is at the Super Bowl. I have a question for you guys, and this is really, really easy. What other teaser trailer dropped during the Super Bowl this year? Wait for it. Wait for it. Solo, a Star Wars story. And what happened to Solo, a Star Wars story? Now, I know it's crazy to assume that because there's a teaser trailer at the Super Bowl, this movie's going to flop. It'll flop on its own reasons. But I just wanted to put that parallel out there. But the trailer will drop during Star Wars Celebration in April in Chicago, which we will be at. It's funny that this is the case because I had a little bit of a news story, not even a news story, just an anecdote about Star Wars Celebration, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. But the trailer drops there. It's the perfect time, if you ask me. That's what? 6 months? No. 7, 8 months from the date the film comes out. So that's plenty of time. And it also, look, right now, Star Wars is a political minefield. I actually spent about 2 hours before bed on a Star Wars toy site reading the comments about the politics of Chuck Wendig. And it got kind of heated. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a Star Wars toy site. Can we not start talking about the Black Series again? No, this shit got crazy. But that's what Star Wars is nowadays. And that's what I guess Disney wants. You don't want people talking about how much they enjoyed the film or what a good time they had. It's no. What side of the spectrum are you on? Chuck Wendig's a hero, goddammit. All of this stupid stuff. It got ugly. But it's when you think that all these people are going to come together to talk about Star Wars politics, this, that, and the fundamentals will be there. This trailer will come out, and that'll get the attention of the mainstream media and all the big websites. Your What Cultures, your IGNs, all these stupid garbage tier websites are going to be like, what you missed in the trailer, what this means from the trailer. Everyone's going to be clicking on those videos. Mike Zero is going to have a boner 10 feet long because he's like, I was right from the future all along. And it'll be good for Disney because everyone will be focused on that. And if there is a shit show or anything crazy happens at Celebration, it'll be an afterthought. No one will care. Oh, the trailer's here. We know the title. It's time to speculate. Rey's a Kenobi. Palpatine's frozen. Blah, blah, blah. And no matter what happens in Chicago, be it low turnout, which isn't going to be the case, or be it some kind of quartering-like situation, it will be ignored and brushed under the rug because everyone is excited for the trailer. And that's what Disney wants. At the end of the day, they do not want to take risks. They want guaranteed things. Well, Star Wars Episode 9's trailer is guaranteed to be a hot button issue. But I guess that's to be taken with a grain of salt. Like it said, nothing's confirmed, nothing is guaranteed. And that's fine. I get it. I would rather discuss that in this way to cover my ass than say, well, this was guaranteed to happen from the future type of shit. No, we don't know exactly when this will happen. But let's just go and play future Super Bowl quarterback. There you go. That's when it comes out. That's the move I'm making. But it seems like a lot of people are wanting to talk about this boycott and stuff like that. Look, here on this channel, and I'll speak for myself and Dion and Nick, we've never called for a Star Wars boycott officially, and I don't believe that Jeremy and Ethan have either. Maybe they have. I'm not quoting them. My phrase right here is not to be used as their words. But I always say, go see the movie for yourself. Do what you got to do. The other side of the Star Wars fandom is calling for a boycott over the Marvel comic books that pertain to Star Wars. And, you got to do what you got to do. But I'd find it interesting if those same people be so full of piss and vinegar when it comes to this movie, because if they don't go support Episode 9, their virtuous signaling ways kind of fall on their face, don't you think? I mean, it could be just me, but that makes them susceptible to the whole, wait, you didn't see the movie? You don't support strong, independent women in movie, blah, 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 blah. And then their just head explodes because they don't know which way to virtue signal. That's the best thing. These crazy SJW people are like the fembots from Austin Powers. Instead of taking your clothes off and doing a weird dance to that Divinal song, you just throw, who is the most oppressed group that you're not supporting? And boom, their heads explode. There you go. That's how it happens. But we're not done talking about Star Wars Episode 9, because this next piece of news, I don't know where this shit comes from, but apparently it is popular enough that articles are written on legitimate websites constantly about this. So for the last couple years, what's been the biggest question about Star Wars? For me, it's how does this movie suck so bad? For most people, it's been this question right here. Who is Rey? Who is her daddy? And what does she do? So this news, again, came from Express over the weekend, and I missed it. Like I said, I was following the Chuck Wendig situation, as most of us were. But this comes from the Express again. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Star Wars 9 leak. Darth Plagueis linked to Rey, Luke, and Anakin revealed. Is Star Wars Episode 9 finally introducing Darth Plagueis, as new leaks describe a major scene in which Rey is linked to Anakin, Luke, and the entire Skywalker story? Will the Chosen One be revealed? Jeff note, will anyone give a shit? Guys, it's almost like they're going to ignore The Last Jedi. You didn't like how Rey was a nobody? Don't worry, we'll fix it. It was all a lie. You know, Vader said, I am your father to Luke, and you wondered, is he telling the truth? Is that a lie? Is he just messing with him? You had 3 years to wonder that. Then, when something of absolute certainty comes out with Episode 8 that a lot of people didn't like, oh, no, that's the lie. We're going to go fix it. There was a big twist all along. You know, JJ, I don't think you understand how movies work overall, but I don't think you understand how the Star Wars trilogy works structurally. You know, you have your first movie that has it builds, it has the big happy payoff. Then the next one leaves you on a cliffhanger, aka a moment that you're like, what's next type of thing. And your mind wanders in so many different directions. What about this? What about that? And then finally, Episode 6 or 3 or apparently 9, you close it out on a happy note. Most trilogies do that. It's the end of the story. But somehow this new Star Wars film is like the middle third of a story, you know, and its final paragraph type of thing. It's broken. It's structurally not there. You know, that's what J.J. Abrams likes to do. He likes to subvert your expectations without telling you. You know, I found a really great series of posts on Facebook I'll share later in the week about all the ways Rian Johnson subverted your expectations. But let's listen to this, though. Who is Rey? Who cares? In all the fervor over Kylo Ren's shock declaration in The Last Jedi that she is no one, everybody concentrated on her parentage and links, or not, to iconic legacy characters. But what about the entire Chosen One storyline that underpinned the entire original and prequel trilogies? Many had believed Rey was now the prime candidate. I'm pretty sure Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one because he brought balance to the Force through killing the Emperor. Following the reports that Star Wars Episode 9 is going back to film in Ireland, a new leak scene described a huge fan-pleasing link to the past that involves Rey, Luke, and one of the most famous villains in the entire... Wow, I shouldn't trust this article anymore because they spelled the T-E-H. Most... obviously, all leaks should be taken with a large pinch of salt, and often simply work existing... Wow, the second typo. Excising knowledge into a credible possibility, but they certainly provide a tantalizing idea about where the movie might go. The leak says... One of the description goes over Rey inside of a stone hut, very similar to the one on Ahch-To. She wears black attire and is kneeling through what's described to be the belongings of Luke Skywalker, one of which is a thick brown journal described as The Science of Creating Life. Another image has Rey's hand resting on the pages, which reads The Philosophy of Life. Another page reads Transcending Death. Rey shuts the journal and takes it with her. This is an undisputable link back to iconic villain Darth Plagueis, the origins of Anakin Skywalker, and whether dark side users can cross over between death like the light side Force ghosts. Currently, the book is only this... Wow, okay, there's just a picture of Darth Plagueis' giant head. Currently, this is the only book in the Star Wars Legends and not canon, but Wikipedia explains The Science of Creating Life was a scientific journal written by Moon Sith Lord Darth Plagueis, documenting the experimentation and research concerning the Force, as well as his musings on its true nature. The information contained in the journal revolutionized Sith understanding of the relationship between the Force and the biological sciences. The science storyline involves Darth Sidious taking a look at the book after killing his master, and the Luke stole it for himself. Generally accepted that Plagueis orchestrated the forced birth of Anakin, manipulating the midichlorians to impregnate Shmi, but again, typo, also covers hugely significant subjects. The first, you know what? Wow, this is way longer than I thought. Basically, it says that this opens up huge potential storylines. Sith spirits could deal with dark Force users, apparently, after death. So we might get the ghost of Plagueis or Sidious. With no one left alive to teach Rey, will her attempt to contact those come before her fail? You know what's funny about all this is I'm not looking at this as, oh my God, we're going to get dark side versus light side Force Ghosts. It's, hey, we're going to get more popular characters to put in a movie. So let's get Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker one more time. Let's bring back the Emperor one more time. You know what? Lando, we can't sell Lando, guys. Lando is honestly, he's a secondary character. Plus, if Lando's new to you, well, he was kind of lame in Star Wars, the Solo one. You know, a little too pando for my liking, says some. So they're talking about the life, death, and all this shit. The only way that this would excite me is if they bring back Han Solo, which you know they won't. So I guess we're just going to have to deal with Han Solo being permanently dead. We had a super chat from our friend, where was that one at? Chano Cyber 9 Avila, who says, if they want to start over, show me Han's funeral. Shit, if you want to fully start over, show me Han Solo and don't let him die. Give him one on-screen scene with Leia and Luke. CGI, who cares? And then you can just blow up or some shit. Guys, remember, Star Wars, the only Star Wars saga that actually had a planned beginning and end was the prequels. I don't care what George Lucas tell you. Oh, I had all these great things lined up for the original Star Wars. You didn't, George. And Episode 5 wasn't even originally the sequel to A New Hope. That's what Splinter of the Mind's Eye was. That was intended to be the sequel to Star Wars had it failed at the box office. So the idea of this big grand scheme of things, Star Wars storyline, makes no sense. It just wasn't in the cards. And clearly, they didn't have anything planned out with this new Disney trilogy. It's like, let me throw money out there to buy this thing, and then we're just going to pump out stuff as quick as possible. There was no thought involved. There were no long-term plans. Hey, that's how Disney wants to operate, but this is how we choose to operate. You can't really go back. Retcons and all these things work in the comic book world. They don't work in the movies. They don't work in anything else. You got to think about your general public, the people that are going to go pay this movie and make it $2 billion, because they're the ones that if they don't like what they hear or they don't like what they see, your movie hurts. Look at Solo. You can try to blame it on all these different things, but if your movie sucks, that is the main reason why people don't go see these things. So if you turn Star Wars into all of this stuff, you're essentially making it like, what is that, Death Troopers the book, or Star Wars Paranormal Activity Edition, Paranormal Act Forcivity, or some shit like that. You're going to have just, too many different genres, too many things rolling into each other, crossing over, causing too many problems for a lot of people, me included. I won't even take my dislike of episode 8 into all this. I'll just go, this makes no sense. Well, first off, Rey's dressed as Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. Didn't see that one coming. Where's a Jabba the Hutt stand-in? You get what I'm saying? So many little things. Oh, these are just homages and winks to the old ones. Stop fucking doing that. I'm tired of it. Like, everything's supposed to link up. It worked for a father-son dynamic with Anakin and Luke. But now if you're going to try to throw Rey in there, why? She's a nobody. That's confirmed. These are all speculative things. So we could just take with what we know and be like, hey, this isn't the story. You can't give a pass to episode 8 based on what you think episode 9 will be. A lot of people did that with episode 7, and look what happened. Look what happened. So many people are like, well, I liked episode 7, but I can't wait to see what happens to 8. It's going to make 7 better. Jeremy was wrong. So many people out there were wrong about that. And hey, if you're really, really, really hoping that episode 9 fix episode 8, I got a bridge to sell you. Real cheap. Now, speaking of things that aren't real cheap, Rey's secretly a Hutt. All right, I like that. Now, speaking of things that aren't that cheap, Star Wars Celebration is kind of a pricey thing. Now, I know a lot of the Fandom Menace won't be there, but a good chunk of people will be there because they want to hang out with myself, Ethan, Jeremy, and all the other members of the Fandom Menace, the community, the people who put up the YouTube stuff. And one beautiful thing about all of this, no matter what people say about us or try to do, we've built up a really great community, and people want to help us out. So, they send in information and news and little tidbits here and there. And somebody on Twitter, one of our secret squirrels, said, hey, Jeff, it looks like they're extending the deadline for the Star Wars fan table stuff. Now, the secret squirrel assumed it's because people aren't going to buy tickets or people weren't showing up. But that is not the case, because tickets are 98% sold out. But they did extend the date for podcasting and fan tables, all these other things. Now, I know that they'll never let us in, but we're going to apply as the Fandom Menace. We're going to apply as the High Council. We're going to try to get a table. And if I have to sit there, I know we can get a lot of people that will come and hang out with us at the table type of thing. It'll be a nice centralized location, because them allowing us a spot at the table will be, I think, a good step in the right direction to fan relation. You know, Disney doesn't even have to publicly say it, but if we can get in there, to me, it's like, hey, you may not like the movies, but you still like Star Wars overall, and there's something in this community for everybody, and you don't need to excise people, shun them because they don't like episodes 7 and 8. Now, I'll go out on a limb and say, I think a lot of people that are here dislike Star Wars episodes 7 and 8 because of story issues. Nothing to do with equality and race and representation. It's all a story problem. So we're going to attempt to get a podcast table or whatever kind of table as the High Council, and it's going to be fun. Now, if they let it happen, awesome. Do we think, well, you never know. Kevin Garnett said anything is possible, and I believe everything that man has ever said. But the fan club tables must be staffed by at least one person who represents the group at all times. That's not a problem. 7-hour shifts, we can rotate. Not a problem again. You get a 10 by 10 space. Whew. That's pretty awesome. And electrical outlets. You know, I work at a lot of conventions. Shit like this would cost $500. So good for you, Star Wars. One thing I'll say, too. They may not like everything we say about these Star Wars movies, but we're bringing people to this convention. Yes, to meet us. But we're bringing people to this convention. I had a lot of people say, hey, Jeff, I'm getting a ticket to go to the show and hang out and do this and that afterwards. You know, if they listen to all the shit we do and say, listen to this moment right here. We've brought you many and many people to this thing. Give us our voice. Give us a chance. You know, we're not coming as a hate group. We're here to prove that we're not. If you want all these online fan wars to end, why doesn't Disney just kind of step in and mend it? You know, they've taken the right steps with Chuck Wendig over at Marvel. Why not mend these problems with, you know, this section of the fan base? Open up a dialogue. Why not, you know, Dave Filoni, and why not Timothy Zahn and all these people? Just give an answer. Even if they say one themselves, give an answer. End this shit. You know? And we'll fill this out. Fan club website, don't have one. Contact name, we'll make, you know, we pick one of us. We may use me. But I mean, look at that. Our focus and priorities, you know, to connect the Star Wars fan base and all this stuff. Current membership number. We'll just add everybody's subscriber count. So we're into what? At least 400,000. That's exciting. Fan club structure, all this stuff. We got all kinds of stuff that we can do. I would love to have them give us a space, because after the whole Rebel Force Radio thing, it seems like they're out. And I know a lot of people are out here saying, oh man, I'll help, I'll do this, I'll do that. Look, you guys are awesome. This is our chance to show them that you know, we're not seeing your movies out of bad storytelling, not some alt-right conspiracy theory. So believe me, down the road when we have the World Class Bullshitters Convention or whatever it's called, the Good Morning Pop Culture Dine-In Breakfast Experience in New York or something, whoever hosts an event that I'm throwing, they'll understand that we have the best world, online, in person, whatever. You should have been there at Horror. You can be there for this. It's just a good time for all. So that is the Star Wars Celebration situation. And here's one thing. Once I set up, I'm going to talk to the guys tonight. We'll bring this up on the High Council again. Once I set this up with the other guys, we'll start telling you guys to tweet at them. You know, we want the High Council. We want the High Council. Hopefully they see it. Hopefully they see it. So we'll try. We'll definitely try. Because it really is a win-win. It's a sign to us that they don't hold grudges against those with differing opinions. And it's a sign to them that not everybody displeased is an angry alt-right troll. That's really not me at all. I'm too tall to be a troll, and I'm definitely not alt-right. So, yeah, we'll give Cecil a spot here. Cecil will be our mascot. Mascot Cecil. I love it. I will go anywhere that Cecil is a mascot for. So, you know what, guys? I've decided after stealing Solo, I'm going to take this money. I'm going to invest in a new chain of Chuck E. Cheese's with Cecil as the mascot. I I think that would make me billions of dollars. I mean, who wouldn't want that lovable Cecil on their food? I do. I do. I know a lot of you do too. So let's talk about something that people don't like or didn't like, and now they're let me rephrase this. Has there ever been something out there that you weren't a fan of or didn't like, and then it's gone and all of a sudden you love it? Because that seems to be the case with a certain show, Iron Fist. Now, before you click away because we're done with the Star Wars stuff, trust me, you're going to want to find out why this whole situation is funny. So Iron Fist was the fourth. Yeah, Iron Fist came out after Luke Cage, right? Iron Fist is one of the 4 Netflix original series in the Marvel Universe that built to the Defenders. And when Iron Fist came out, a lot of people shit on it. I didn't really like it, but I thought it was just okay at best. Then season 2 came out, and for some reason, I felt obligated to watch every single episode. And I did. And it was a lot better. You know, I have to be honest. Maybe it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but it was a step in the right direction. The characters became more likable, especially Danny and Ward Meacham. You had Colleen Wing kicking ass, and she was good in both seasons. But overall, I liked her the same. Misty Knight got involved, though I felt sometimes she was a little... She was too much in certain scenes. I don't really like when there's too much police intervention in these shows. I get it. That's how the real world would be. And Misty's great. But, you know, I wish they would have pulled her back just a bit more. I felt like they shoehorned her in for just one more character that really didn't need to be there. They took away the personal element of the story. But overall, I thought the show was legit enough to that I'd watch season 3. Well, then over the weekend, Iron Fist was canceled. And I know a lot of people are like, oh no, Iron Fist got canceled. Boo-hoo. I was hoping it would have been Jessica Jones, but you know they will not cancel a show about the hot button issues like that Jessica Jones covers. I thought that was the most preachy bullshit show, with Luke Cage being a close second. But Luke Cage had some good entertainment with it. Jessica Jones just went for like virtually the TV show after a while. Like, the reason I didn't like season 2 was for 2 reasons. 2 things stood out to me that made me dislike the show. First off, when Jessica Jones in the first episode said, sticking your dick in all these women is as bad as killing somebody, and she meant it, I went, this is this kind of show. This is the type of rhetoric bullshit I'm in for 8 more episodes. And then we get to the end where Patsy kills Jessica Jones' mom, and Patsy, instead of having her comeuppance, she gets superpowers. So it just goes to show you, all these terrible individuals, you know what? They don't have to pay the price. They get superpowers. You know, yay, go team. I didn't like Jessica Jones season 2. I thought it was a step down from season 1. Then again, it was without David Tennant for the most part, so that's the main reason why. Iron Fist season 2 and all these other shows were a step down from their first season, except Daredevil. Daredevil, to me, was a damn fine TV show. But now we're in a situation where Iron Fist is gone. And I was surprised, but I thought the show was in the right direction. And the reason I bring this up is because now there is a petition to bring back Iron Fist. So let me tell you guys about this Iron Fist petition, and you guys can have a laugh, a cry. You can kiss Iron Fist goodbye, because this show ain't coming back. So Iron Fist fans urge Marvel TV and Netflix to renew the series shortly after it was announced that it will not be coming back for a 3rd season. Deemed the weakest of the 4 individual Marvel shows on the streaming platform, many thought that it would be taken off the air after its critically panned debut season, which is why people were shocked at a renewal announcement during the Defenders panel last year at San Diego Comic-Con. In an effort to address criticism, Iron Fist Season 2 got a brand new showrunner with Raven Metzner, who replaced Scott Buck. However, the improved reviews in its latest outing weren't enough to save the show. Taking to change.org, a user named Melissa Hodge came up with a campaign urging Netflix and Marvel to bring Iron Fist back for another season. She cited several interesting points, hoping to change the decision to cancel the series, including the fact that Season 2 ended on a cliffhanger, and that it didn't make any sense to do it the way they did. Read her full statement below. Netflix has made a terrible decision in canceling Iron Fist after 2 seasons. There are many fans of the character, and the series and most people said that the second season was excellent. Ugh. I think it's unfair that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil got a third season, and their shows get mixed reviews too. Yet Iron Fist gets the shaft. There are so much more potential. There's so much more potential and stories to be told, and it's not great fan service at the end of the last season to do so on a cliffhanger and not to go along with it, especially when the second season was more well received with critics and fans. So Netflix and Marvel, please revise your decision and greenlight a third season of Iron Fist. At the time of writing, the petition already had more than 8,000 signatures, less than 2,000 more, and it will already achieve its target of 10,000 supporters just a few days since it was created. The author of the campaign actually makes a compelling case in regard to the possibility of reviving the series, especially after Iron Fist Season 2 was significantly better than its predecessor. Unfortunately, considering the success rate of online campaigns, it's dubious if this one will actually make a difference and prompt Netflix and Marvel to give the series one more chance. Now, the reason I brought this whole topic to this morning's show is because, yes, these change.org petitions never work. It's nice to have the dedication behind it. Awesome. I support, I like the idea of it coming back for a third season, but it has one problem in this whole thing. I think it's unfair that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil get a third season and their shows get mixed reviews too, yet Iron Fist gets the shaft. Well, let's look at the other shows because I'm all about fairness. So let's look at these other shows, other seasons, and see how they compare. So first off, let's look at Luke Cage because he had his season 2 fairly recently, the most recent next to Iron Fist. So Luke Cage season 1 sits at a 94%, and Luke Cage season 2 sits at an 83%. Both fantastic. Now let's go over and look at Jessica Jones, the show that I think is a little overhyped. So Jessica Jones season 1 sits at a 93%, and Jessica Jones season 2 sits at a 83%. Okay, so this writer's divisive, the statement, well, they get mixed reviews. I don't think those are mixed reviews. And then finally, let's look at the head honcho himself, Daredevil. And if you're thinking to yourself, why would Jeff call Daredevil the head honcho? Well, Daredevil's a way more famous comic book character than anyone else that has appeared on the Defenders. He's got his own movie. The other characters didn't. Daredevil's been a mainstay since 1964. Bill Everett, Stan Lee. I guess that was 64. My point is Daredevil's been around since essentially the beginning. He's always been one of the Marvel heavy hitters. And what is Daredevil at? Season 1, 99%. Season 2, 78%, which was a big drop. Season 3, 92%. Overall, I wouldn't consider these very mixed reviews. I consider them very, very positive reviews, if not incredibly positive reviews. And then we jump down to finally our friend Iron Fist. Now, don't be drinking any coffee because this is an embarrassment that you may, laugh at. Iron Fist season 1, 19%. Iron Fist season 2, 53%. You want to talk about mixed? The only thing mixed is the scores for Iron Fist. Iron Fist isn't really this hot property that people want to claim it to be. It's kind of embarrassing how bad this show has performed with the critics. Thank you, I guess? Question mark. You're welcome. Yeah, it ain't coming back, lady. I appreciate the enthusiasm. As a fan of comic book shows, I would definitely watch Iron Fist season 3, especially the way season 2 ended. But I'm not expecting anything, and that's okay. I've come to the realization that the show is over. It's dead, and that's fine. I want more, but it ain't going to happen. Cliffhanger be damned. I mean, the cliffhanger wasn't even that big of a cliffhanger. It was more like a, this is what, is happening next type of thing. Not, oh my God, what happens next? The only question is, how does Danny get the fist back, and how is he shooting bullets that have the Iron Fist power? Okay, well, I assume he went somewhere and he learned it, and that's it. So I feel bad for all those involved who have lost a job, because I think Colleen Wing, the actress that played her, was a good actress. Danny Rand was fine. I really liked Ward's favorite character. Joy, she should have died, but whatever. Again, these Marvel characters never get their comeuppance, except, what's her name? Black Mariah, and that's her character name. That's not me saying her skin color and then her name. That is the character. That chick got hers, and that was so sweet to watch her go. But Luke Cage has more going for it. That, to me, ended on a cliffhanger. Is Luke Cage evil? What the hell? there's so much left that we can talk about and cover. So I'm excited for that. Daredevil had a cliffhanger in the Defenders. That was impressive. So if you're a Daredevil fan, this coming week, 2 days from now, Daredevil season 3 drops. I can't watch it because I got the guys coming into town for my birthday and the Stealing Solo celebration and all that stuff. But I will watch it eventually, and we'll work through the show and we'll review it here next week. But that that surprised me. Now, speaking of surprising, I'm going to say something surprising to all of you. They made a change for Spider-Man Homecoming 2 from the comic books, and I like it. Let me rephrase that. Maybe it's not a change from the comic book, but it's a change in a different direction for Spider-Man. So I'm about to show you guys this new Spider-Man suit from the Homecoming sequel. And I like it. I know you're thinking to yourself, Jeff, you only like shit that's true to the comics. For the most part. But this is actually true to the comics. You're thinking, I've never seen Spider-Man in a black and red suit. And you have, and you just didn't realize it. So we have a super chat from our friend Chris Mickick. Thank you very much, Chris. Good morning. The guns at the end of season 2 were another Iron Fist guns that learned to put the chi into all weapons and used it in different ways. Well, there we go, Chris. Even I didn't know that. To claim myself as an Iron Fist fan prior to this show, and even post this show, would be disingenuous. I knew the character. I had read a handful of his stories from the 70s, any kind of crossovers, but I wouldn't call myself a fan of the books at all. It would be a lie to you guys. So I didn't really know much. I just knew who he was, and I knew he was white guy Danny Rand. And I believe there are multiple ones. And I wasn't aware of that, so there we go. Maybe I'll look into some of the comics and get my Iron Fist fix if I need one. Who needs an Iron Fist fix? Do you? Press 1 if you need one. I don't expect anyone to get one at all. So looks like a lot of chat about SJW stuff for these Marvel shows. I'm with you there. There's a lot of heavy preachiness in Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And there are times where it's off-putting. So, it just makes me like those shows less because that's what really gets the critics to love it. Oh my God, it represents this and that. That's nice. I'd rather watch some highfalutin superhero fun. But let's look at this Spider-Man suit. I'm excited for this suit because I've always said in my private life, you guys would not know this. I said, if I ever draw Spider-Man in the comics professionally, I'm going to give him his black and red suit. And you're thinking, I've never seen a black and red suit, but he's had it before. So some would argue that Spider-Man's costume was always black and red in the original books and that it was a blue highlight. I can see where you're coming from, but I've always said it was red and blue. That's just me. You could interpret it a different way. That's fine. So if anyone's wondering why the colors are washed out, this is an on-set photo. This isn't a professional picture, but this suit is red. There are more than one photo. There is more than one photo. So this is not an orange suit like his original design. It's supposed to be orange and purple, I believe. But Spider-Man has had a black and red suit before, and I'm going to show you guys that in a moment. Chano Cyber 9 Avila says, who's the villain, Scorpion, Mysterio, or Goblin? Well, first off, Chano Cyber 9 Avila, thank you very much. The villain is Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mysterio. There were photos of that earlier in the month. I saw him. It's fine. I mean, cool. I like Mysterio as a villain. It's new, so that's going to be exciting. I'm all about the novelty of Spider-Man films. After a while, it's like, how many times do you need to see Doc Ock? Oh, over the weekend, I finally got to do something that everybody wanted. I played the new Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4, and it was good. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I really wanted to buy it. But, I have this channel. I have other things to worry about. So around Christmas time, I will get myself a copy, and I'll break it down for you guys. So if you want a Spider-Man... Do I want to call myself a Spider-Man expert? I know the character really, really... I know better than like every one of these online people. Like, oh yeah, during this storyline, this happened. I'm like, yeah, it's great. I read Wikipedia too, bro. But do you have the books? Because I do. So back to this thing, though. There is a man by the name of Eric Larson. Now, some people dislike his politics. I don't follow him anymore because I interacted with him not personally on social media, but I watched him just go on and on his Facebook page. So I just left my Eric Larson fandom at the door because I didn't really want to be around that kind of toxicity, if you will. But Eric Larson is still a very successful and famous comic book artist who was one of the founding members of Image Comics. And like I said, I respect his work. He's a very good artist. And some people say he's this great dude. Maybe he is. Maybe I just, social media isn't a good representation of who a person is. But instead of, calling him out or trying to do something stupid, I removed myself from the situation in the group and just thought, it's no big deal. But the reason I keep talking about him is that Eric Larson in the early 90s was the Amazing Spider-Man artist. He followed Todd McFarlane. And now Todd McFarlane is legendary. He's known as, one of the all-time greats. And he is. But Eric Larson is very good too. And Eric Larson has drawn Spider-Man in the black and red suit for a long time, or has at certain points in his career. So I remember Spider-Man looking like this, and I think to myself how visually interesting the solid black suit is with the red. Some people just say it's an artistic choice. Yeah, it is. But I really like that. And there's no highlights. It's just a straight up black suit. A lot of guys like John Byrne, when they do heavy blacks in their artwork, they do it solid. There's no highlight. And I like that. That's something I incorporate in Stealing Solo and in my own personal artwork. I like the heavy solid blacks with no outlines. And then the other stuff is more detailed. There's a nice contrast in the artwork that way. But here you go. Here's another Spider-Man cover with him in the black and red with a little bit of highlight on that part, but it's not the traditional big blue highlight like Eric Larson had drawn at other times. But so I see this suit and I get kind of excited. And I was just like, oh, cool, something different for Spider-Man. Because, the Homecoming suit, if you're going to try to do the original Spider-Man suit, do the original Spider-Man suit. Opinions aside on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, if they're not, wow, it was a great movie, then just go off. No, I'm just joking. But they got the suit right. They altered it for a 2002, the world that we lived in, but the suit was still there. They had all the gloves were right, the boots were right, the eyes were slightly different, but they were still, the right shape. It looked like Spider-Man. Then you get to the Amazing Spider-Man. He looked like a basketball. Then you get the Amazing Spider-Man 2, arguably one of the best suits. Didn't like the actor, didn't like the way it looked in the CGI, but still good suit. And then you get the Homecoming, and it's like, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not in love with this. And, but now we're to this, and they're doing something completely different, and I dig it. It takes away from those black elements that stand out to be so jarring. It's just, black and red, and I like it. We had Pagan God X says, I dig it. I got Spider-Man to join the Wolf Pack. Bro, that is too sweet. But black and red Spider-Man is a look I like. Let's see. 007 Cloud sent in a super chat that says, how far did you get in Spidey PS4? I played the shit out of it. Mostly used the Scarlet Spider suit and the 2099 suit. Hope we get a Raimi suit. Well, I didn't get very far. It's not my game. It was Dan's. So Dan was playing it, and I told him I want to play the web swinging. So I didn't do any of the story stuff. But Dan's not very good at the game. Like, you can web run or you can wall run, and he just chooses to climb up the wall and be real slow. I'm thinking Spider-Man's about speed and agility. You're like old Spider-Man, old man. It was just whatever. So I didn't play very far. I was playing around the part where Mr. Negative was defeated, and I was just swinging around the city, only in the original costume. Scarlet Spider's an okay suit. Never been a fan. 2099 suit looks cool. I like the story pretty much, actually, so I can't really shit on it. I hope we get a Raimi suit. If we get the Sam Raimi costume, I will play in that exclusively. That is the only reason I bought the Amazing Spider-Man for the Xbox 360. Because I saw online that if you pre-order it, you could get the Raimi suit. I didn't get to pre-order it in time, so I said to Joel, please, can I have your online DLC code? And Joel goes, okay. And he gave it to me, so I got to play in the Sam Raimi costume suit. And I played that whole game, and I liked it because I could be the real Spider-Man. So I stick with the classic suit in the game because I like it. It looks like John Romita artwork. And I don't like the other design changes and other things like that. Call me a purist, call me old school, but I am accepting to change when it fits with the Spider-Man aesthetic, the established lore. And this does to me. So I'm happy with this. No, the Spider-Man show didn't come to DVD in America, the 1994 show. Some of those shows have hit the UK on DVD, but never in America, because I would have bought them. The only Spider-Man shows that were released fully on home video were the 1968, right? Was it 68 or 67? The 60 Spider-Man show, it has a DVD release, which I bought, and the Spectacular Spider-Man has a DVD release fully. Now, there are some episodes that are released for Spider-Man 94, and they're like the Venom story arc or the Carnage story arc or the Doc Ock story arc, just small little arcs. But the series has never been released in its entirety on DVD here in America. So if they do that, I'm hoping that they actually release the uncut episodes, because there are certain things that were altered out of episodes for reasons. I believe they edited some stuff out after 9/11, just small things like that. Where we're 17 years removed from 9/11. Let's just put the episodes back the way they were when they were released. There was nothing in bad taste about them. Frank Miller's Spider-Man's cool. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I don't dislike it at all. The one where he fights, the one with the Fantastic Four is pretty good, where he gets his mind taken over. I like that quite a bit. Chano Cybernautilus, Spider Blood, Radioactive Spider Blood, Radioactive Spider Blood. I had that on repeat as I played the game. Oh my god, that song's cool. When I was saying it to myself just now, I was thinking of the guitar riff. That do. Good show. I gotta just put the video out. I have a series called Growing Up, a blank kid in the 90s. It's a very personal look, when you're growing up in the 90s, what you're into. So we had Power Rangers and Marvel and all this stuff, but it was really, I would argue, the best decade to grow up as a kid as a Marvel fan, because people would argue the books in the 60s through the 80s were better, and I'll agree with you. The 70s books, iffy best. But my point is, as a 90s kid, not only did you have comic books to read, you had countless toys, you had video games, which prior generations didn't really have. I mean, the first Spider-Man game was on the Atari, and I believe that was the first Marvel video game. And then there were some computer games and some stuff like that. But in the 90s, you had, if you wanted to be into superhero stuff all day, every day, you could get it. Your parents could get you home video releases, or you could record shows off TV. You could watch, if you didn't care about just Marvel, you could watch a lot of the DC films like Superman and Batman, and you could watch some live action stuff that was lesser, but you had it everywhere, and it was a lot of fun. And that Spider-Man show was always on TV, and it's a good, it's a reminder of a good time in a lot of people's lives. You come home from school, Spider-Man's on. What's going on? He's fighting the Scorpion. Cool. And then there's Doc Ock next day and all that shit. So that, coupled with X-Men, was just a really good time. And I want to pump out a video like that, talk about growing up as a Star Wars fan, all these things. It'll be a nice little series I do the closer we get to Captain Marvel, because I firmly believe that Captain Marvel was going to introduce a whole new wave of 90s nostalgia with its setting and some of the soundtrack. I bet we're going to hear some 90s songs. People are going to go, yeah, I remember that. And they're going to kind of try to the Guardians of the Galaxy for people who are into the music more than the movie. So they're like, oh, hey, I'm hooked on a feeling. Yeah, let me buy that soundtrack. And I heard some songs from Guardians last night, and that's what I thought, and I kind of got angry. Let's see. People reject Homecoming. No problem. You guys have your own taste. I think it's the lesser of all the MCU films. Let's see. Set up my P.O. box and someone will send it to you. I do need to print out my... Thing is, I needed a specific type of ID, and I have to print it out. So I'm going to do that today. Take care of business. Let's see. Jeff the Iron Wolf, thank you very much for your super chat. Dig Black and Red, but symbiote style is my fave, with Noir coming in second. My favorite, obviously, is classic Spider-Man. I've talked about it, but I love the symbiote suit almost as much. If that's another problem I had with this new Spider-Man game. No symbiote costume. You don't even need the symbiote powers because a lot of people don't realize this. He wore the suit as just a suit, a cloth suit. After he lost it, it was 1985, so that would have been Web of Spider-Man #1. You know, the bell tower scene? That comes directly out of the movie. After he loses that suit and it goes away, he puts on a cloth version because the Black Cat finds it sexier. So there was a time where he'd wear red in one series and black in the other, and then eventually he was wearing the all-black suit all the time. And it was a good-looking suit. It is. Whenever they release Symbiote Spider-Man anything, I'm there to buy it. I got the Symbiote Spider-Man Marvel Legends on my shelf. I got the original Marvel Classic Symbiote. I don't know if there was a 90s equivalent. But the first one I ever got was in 2001. I love that suit. That costume is on point. Let's see. 007 Club, thank you very much for Super Chat. When you play, let us know how you feel about Spider Cop. I will. I'll tell you this. I wasn't a fan of Mary Jane, and I wasn't a fan of Miles Morales' missions. I get what they're trying to do with tell this really grand story. In today's video game climate, that's what these critics want to talk about. The story was in depth. It's like The Last of Us. I want Spider-Man action, you know? Like J. Jonah Jameson wants pictures of Spider-Man. I want to play as Spider-Man all the time. It's like Dave TV, all day, all night. You know, you get it. It's all those things all the time. I don't want to switch gears in the middle of something. It takes away from the flow. But overall, what I played, I liked. I can see myself losing a lot of hours to it. And there's one joke in the game, which you played it, you haven't, you won't probably. But he tries to stop a subway car, just like in Spider-Man 2. And I go, oh, this is like Spider-Man 2. Can they never get over this shit? So he's webbing it up, and the web's ripping. He goes, oh, that worked last time. And I lost it. I laughed. There were little jokes like that, and I was like, okay, I appreciate the humor in this game quite a bit. So there's a reason for the symbiote not coming in the beginning of the game. They're saving Venom for the sequel. I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying I don't care about your messages, so don't take it like, oh, Jeff's mad. No, I'm not mad. I never get mad at you guys. I don't care if there's a sequel coming out. Is that going to make Peter evil when I got to fucking be Miles Morales to beat Spider-Man up or some dumb shit? That'd be dumb to me. You know, just give me the traditional black cloth suit. Let me run around at night. It's so cool when you can barely see it. Let's see. Chain of Cyber 9 Avilas, thank you very much for your super chat. Black suit Spider-Man or Spider Carnage? Black suit Spider-Man all day, every day. Let's see. Can you see my black suit? No. The Spider Carnage is an okay design. I think it's kind of cool. There was an action figure of it that came out a few years ago that I almost bought because it was like a double Ben Reilly and Spider Carnage. You just switch the head and hands. But I just didn't really, have the cash back then to do it. Okay, so there was a suit from the 90s, the figure that I missed, and the Secret Wars one. Yeah, I've seen the Secret Wars one, but in the 90s before eBay, you didn't really know how to get these things. So, yes, there was one before. That was the first one. Yeah, that was the books from Secret Wars, or the suits from Secret Wars, the toy lines from Secret Wars. And they covered all that stuff. Dan had all the suits, for the most part, unlocked. I saw the stealth suit and all these other suits. 007 Cloud, thank you very much. I hate Mary Jane in the game, though. I found Miles surprisingly tolerable, and I hate him in the comics. Yeah, well, the Mary Jane stuff in Grand Central Station, I guess it's just Dan's not that good at the game, but it took forever. Because I'm sitting there watching him, and I'm playing like on an Xbox 360, an old wrestling game, and Dan's sitting there, crouching, throwing these little things, these little spider bombs, and I'm just like, oh, come on. And another thing, too, they refuse, the way him and Phil play the game, they refuse to actually fight the guys. They just throw these web things and then run around. I'm like, Spider-Man always would wait for you to come up on him, and then he would dodge and flip over. And I'm thinking to myself, the combat in this game has to be a lot cooler. These guys just suck. So, yes, I will throw my friends under the bus because they don't know how to play as Spider-Man. Oh, people are talking about the PS1 Spider-Man game. Now, that is fantastic. There's this YouTube channel called, I think it's Panels to Pixels, and they were on a podcast talking about that Spider-Man game. And I thought to myself, I have never listened to an online discussion that I wanted to be a part of so badly as much as I did that one. I wish I could use our channel strength to get them on here and have the same discussion again. I mean, they had a guy from PlayStation Magazine and all these things. I'm like, damn it, I want to be there. You know, I remember that game, and I remember getting into Spider-Man again. Like, so as a kid, I was into it. And then I kind of got out of comics. I got into Star Wars and my own stuff. Then I got into wrestling. And then, you know, wrestling was great, but something brought me back to comics. You know, before the Spider-Man movie came out, I started buying some toys, some how to draw books, all this stuff in like preparation for this movie. And that kind of set me off on the path I'm on now, stealing Solo and all that stuff. But yeah, that game was so good. I remember the theme song was excellent. I still remember the passwords. Rust Crust is invincibility, and Strudel without an E, STRUDL, is infinite webbing. So I remember those codes by heart. I could also tell you the invincibility code for Tomorrow Never Dies on the PlayStation. Select, circle, circle, triangle, select. Turn it on, try it out. It's not a good game, but if you're invincible, it's a lot of fun. But that Spider-Man game is one of those, if I'm going to put like the top 10 most important games in my entire life, Spider-Man for PlayStation 1 is in that top 10 list. Number 1 is GoldenEye. Ocarina of Time's in that list. But Spider-Man for PS1 is very high up there, along with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Just games that really got me into gaming more so than I had ever been. I mean, I grew up with Mario and stuff like that. Mario's great. Mario holds a very special place in my heart. I got an SH Figure Arts Mario figure, you know, stuff like that. But Spider-Man, whew. Jeff, wasn't there a what if comic if Spidey had kept the black symbiote? Yeah, there are a lot of what if comics. So there's also what if Kraven killed Spider-Man. That's a kind of a dark one. And the story just ends with Mary Jane and Daredevil and Captain America burying Peter Parker. It's, yeah, that's the end of it. Let's see. Good morning to everyone who's here. I'm excited. You know, that's one nice thing about this. With our new popularity of the show, you know, we get 400 viewers on average every day. It used to be 100 to 200. Now, I'm hoping we don't have a huge dip when Good Morning Pop Culture goes to its new channel. So, folks, if you're here right now, first off, we all get a thumbs up for this video. Smash the muff button, pound it, do what you got to do. But hit it hard, hit it fast. And then make sure you guys are subscribed to the Good Morning Pop Culture channel, which has the link in the description below, because I do want to move this show to its own channel. I might even buy its own domain name and hook us up that way, so you guys can have your own Good Morning Pop Culture community, because there are people that are into this and not the show, and there are people that are into the other shit and not this. So, you know, I didn't mean to stop making videos, but this just became a thing, and I don't want to hurt it. Let's see, Arkham Knight, that is a fantastic game. I like that. Thank you, Dome City Sandman, for picking up your copy of Stealing Solo yesterday. Folks, we are in the final 5 days of Stealing Solo Captain's Parody. So we talked about it earlier. We passed the 1,000 books. So I'm looking forward to trying to hit 200% of our goal. That'll get us to 40,000. And that'll be a huge success. Realistically, it's only $190 away. So I'll be talking about in the High Council. Who knows? Maybe in the final days, it'll get up to 50, and that'll be incredible. And you'll see me pull a Sally Struthers on the live stream this weekend. For the record, for those wondering, we're going to do a lot of live streams. Not a lot of live streams, but some live streaming, some short ones with all the guys here in town. So if you want to see us and hear us talk about shit, have your questions ready for Friday night and Saturday, day-ish and night, and then some Sunday morning stuff on my birthday proper. We're going to be Cook the Feast. Thank you very much. I know Spidey 4RM, the TV show. Any comics you recommend? Oh, you know, Spider-Man from the TV show. Oh, any comics I recommend? I tell everybody to start at the beginning. Even if you know the origin, it's nice to see how the character evolves. And the early stuff is a little rough, but it's not bad. I had a discussion with Ethan Van Sciver, for those who don't know who he is. Last week, we talked about Fantastic Four and the evolution of the character and how the first couple issues are very disjointed from the next. And he agreed for the most part. Maybe he didn't voice his disagreement with me, but he understood where I was coming from. Let's phrase it like that. So when that happened, I was thinking more about Spider-Man and how he kind of starts out as we all know him. And he was there so early, so perfectly so early on. But Chano, Cyber 9, and Vila, if you want my recommendations, get yourself a trade paperback called Spider-Man: The Birth of Venom. You might like that out of the blue. It teaches you about the black suit. There you go. That's a lot of fun. Also, I recommend Marvel Masterworks. They're just collections of all the issues in order. So I recommend you get those. You get yourself Kraven's Last Hunt or The Death of the Stacys. You'll see some really great artwork in that book. What else? Spider-Man Reign is like the Dark Knight Returns of Spider-Man. It's an old man Spider-Man story. Mary Jane dies because she got cancer from all the radioactive semen from Spider-Man. And that's not a joke. That's actually in the story. It's damn good, too. And then, what else? Some people like Ultimate Spider-Man. I think it's overrated, but you guys can read it and judge it for yourself. Those are the books I recommend. Yeah, Catherine, I'm with you there. So for those wondering about the trailer from Star Wars, it was rumored that it was coming out, the teaser, on the Super Bowl. And then the official trailer will drop Star Wars Celebration in April, where we'll all be, and we discuss trying to get a table there from Star Wars themselves to bridge the gap between the Fandom Menace community and Disney proper to see what we can do to show them we're not this angry alt-right hate mob that they like to blame us to be. The title was Spider-Man Reign, if anybody wanted to know about that. Yes, seriously, it's radioactive jizz. I didn't make that up. Let me show you guys the cover. And no, there's no Spider Wiener on the cover, thankfully. Because I like this show. And I don't want it to go away by showing some Spider Dong. That's just not my style. But let's see. Spider-Man Reign. It's a good story. I picked up the trade paperback really, really cheap. But it is essentially the Dark Knight Returns of Spider-Man stories. So if you guys are up to what the Dark Knight Returns is, which is, the old, I consider the last Batman story. Some people say it's an Elseworld like Frank Miller. And I mean, he created it, so he is the authority on it. But I like to think of it as the last Batman story ever. And this is what I like to consider the last Spider-Man story. So here you guys go. R-E-I-G-N, Spider-Man Reign. And this is the cover, or one of the covers. It's weird, it's bizarre, but I love it. So while you guys take a look at that, I'm going to get you guys prepped for the next thing. So, who Dick? Yeah, Dick to death. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, radioactive semen, all that stuff. This is not where Mephisto reset that. No, Mephisto... that was in Amazing Spider-Man 541-ish. The 530s were Civil War. And then the 540s were Spider-Man Back in Black. And then One More Day was after that. And then we restart with One More Day, which started out pretty good, and then it got stupid. So... let's talk about something. People are talking about this stone looks like dong, this looks like stuff. Let's look at something that just looks bad. So press 1 if you remember our old segment, Bad Comic Book Art, because we're bringing that back today. We're bringing back a classic, because they say a classic never dies, and neither does Rob Liefeld's ability to draw feet. Oh wait, he never had it to begin with. So our friend Rob Liefeld is back. And when I mean friend, I'm not saying it sarcastically. I genuinely like Rob Liefeld. I'd love to meet him, and I'd love to hang out with him. I'm not making fun of him as a person. But this is his new cover for Champions Uncanny X-Men Edition. Now, Rob Liefeld is responsible for the creation of Deadpool with, is it Fabian Nicienza? Is that who created it with? Or is it Joe Kelly? I don't remember exactly who the writer portion was, but Rob Liefeld designed the character. He's a joke. He's a play on Deathstroke. Slade Wilson. Wade Wilson is Deadpool. And Rob Liefeld blew up to superstardom in the early 90s through his work on X-Force, where he created Cable as well. And then I think he worked on New Mutant. No, he didn't work on New Mutants. Point is, he went over to create Image with Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Eric Larson, all those guys, the Image Boys, if you will. Now, Rob Liefeld has been a bit of a lightning rod for controversy. People like to make fun of his style, this, that, and the other. And we've looked at some of the bad artwork. And Rob Liefeld, the reason I like him so much is because he's admitted, it wasn't that good, but I'm always trying to hone my craft. And he seems like a really nice guy who I'd like to meet. Just flat out. Not trying to get an interview for the channel or anything like that, but he's a comic book artist that I personally would enjoy interacting with. So Rob Liefeld is back, and this is his new cover, and a lot of people are laughing at it. I'm thinking to myself, it's not great, but it's not terrible. The composition's okay, I guess, and he brought back the Jim Lee style costumes, so that makes me happy. But then everybody wants to talk about Beast and his feet, and I went, oh shit, you're right. So let's look closely at Beast's feet. And by closely, I got another image of it pulled up so you guys can see it a little better. So here are Beast's feet up close. So you guys can tell me what you think. Okay, so a lot of people remember Rob Liefeld. But Rob Liefeld's notorious for his drawing of feet. He gave Beast 2 left feet. I know a lot of people could say, well, why don't you just tell him that, oh, Rob, you need to learn how to draw anatomy, this, that, and the other. But I just thought this was a good chuckle. Maybe this is a nice return to bad comic book art this week. As Stealing Solo ends its run, we have just a little chuckle, a lighthearted jab. Like I said, no anger, no hatred towards our good buddy Rob Liefeld. He seems like a decent dude. A lot of people are having good laughs at this right now. Yeah, it's worth a chuckle. This is new. This is Marvel. But like I said, it is refreshing to see the classic 90s X-Men come back. And you'll notice, if you're a toy collector like me, that they are really, really milking the nostalgia hard over at Hasbro. Some would argue that it's because they're a company and they want to make money. Some would argue that the Star Wars brand is kind of hurting, so they want to make up their money elsewhere. All I'll say is that if you're a fan, if you're a collector of Marvel Legends, you're in a good situation right now. Because for me personally, I'm at a point where I can't get enough of these things. It's like, oh shit, I want to buy Psylocke. I want to get this. I want to get that. There are so many of these great things that are coming out. It just goes to show you that when a company wants to, they can pump out tons of material to make tons of money. When you have a mandate, like with Lucasfilm, who gets to dictate what is made, well, then when they push for whatever new characters and people don't accept those and you keep pushing, that's why you can go to the store and find them for $2. And I actually had filmed some more Super Star Wars clearance that just gave me a chuckle and made me think a moment about the franchise. But even Star Wars is giving into this whole X-Men business model. Why do I say that? Because they're releasing classic characters again because they want to make sales. They want to ship shit through stores. Han Solo is an evergreen character. People will buy Han Solo forever. They'll buy Luke. They'll buy Leia. They'll buy Lando, Darth Vader, all these characters. So they're going to constantly pump those out. And if you're a fan of the X-Men, you're getting that right now as well. Could he be in on the joke? Very well, very possible. But I just thought that was pretty fun, if not funny. A nice return to, hey, bad comic book art is back, guys. Bad comic book art is back. So I think it looks like, that was everything I had planned for today. The show went kind of fast. I guess we don't want to close it out early, but there's really nothing left to cover. So, oh yeah, there's one more thing, and this was not a bit. Give me a moment. I know what you guys want me to talk about. This, ugh. So this comes from CNET. Does the C stand for crap? I'll never know. Maybe. Here, this might be our final topic. It might be the final topic we ever cover on this channel. Because I may not survive the next few years. Captain Marvel's Brie Larson reportedly inks 7-movie deal. Ugh. I know Ethan talked about this, but now I'm talking about it. And now it's playing music. Crap. So that's awkward. I don't care what stories matter right now, CNET. I'm not getting a copyright strike because your shit played over my stream. So if you're wondering about what's next for the MCU, it might involve quite a bit of Captain Marvel. Whew. Brie Larson, who'll play Captain Marvel, has reportedly signed on for 7 movies, according to The Hollywood Reporter Thursday. Marvel Studios did not immediately respond for a request for comment. In a tweet, Larson disputed the report. Counterpoint: this is not true. Captain Marvel will hit theaters on March 8th of 2019. Wow, what an article! What an article! I think, I'm going to use this to talk about for a little bit. Hey, 1 sentence, 2 sentence, 5 sentences, and a tweet. That is an article. Wow, 5 sentences and a tweet. What you can get away with in today's modern journalism. That was awesome. Man, Captain Marvel, tell me another one. Swinging Cause, it was Nicieza. They started with the last few issues of New Mutants and then transferred it into X-Force. Deadpool first appeared in New Mutants number 98 and went from New Mutants 100 to X-Force number 1. Okay. I wasn't reading those books as a kid. I've actually never read those books as an adult. Those characters never appealed to me, but there we go. I did not know that. So thank you, Swinging Cod. I always like when people can teach me shit like that, because I'd rather hear it from a fan than Wikipedia. It feels more personal that way. All I know is that New Mutants number 98 goes for a lot of money nowadays because of Deadpool. Let's see. Chano Cyber9 Avilas says, well, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, well, Brie Larson is the fun police, so that is how she likes to operate. Hey, you guys are having fun? Let me show up and take it away from you. Oh, thanks, Brie. Thanks. Let's see. Eddie Max Vander says, close out. I just got here. Man alive. Well, then you know what, you guys? Let's keep this show alive. Let's, keep the flow going. Give me something to talk about. I always say this is a community. It goes both ways. Give me something to cover. Get me riled up. Get me happy. Get me angry. I don't care, but just give me something to talk about. I'll talk about it. Alec Munoz says 5 sentences, all she's worth. Boom! That's fucking harsh. That is all she's worth. Or all she's worth. Excuse me. I know the other week when I made a Marvel video, it rubbed people the wrong way. And I hate to say it, but tough shit. If you got triggered by the Captain Marvel content, well, sorry. It's just how I feel. I'm not going to all of a sudden change my tune. Some people say, all you do is kiss Marvel's ass. Some people say, all you do is shit on Marvel and Captain Marvel. All I do is talk about both things, Some things are great, some things are bad. All those kind of statements do is show me, hey, you don't really listen to the show. And that's fine. But this Captain Marvel thing, I'm not excited for. I do look at it as it's the end of the MCU as we know it, and I don't feel fine. I want more good Marvel. I can't look at a lot of people out there enjoy listening to this show. You get excited for the community aspect. You come here on your way to work or at work and you're working and lurking. There's so many good things going on with this show. Now imagine how this show makes you feel. Amplify that by 100. And that's my excitement for some of these big Marvel flicks. And now knowing that it's just fucking done after this. Like all the good shit's gone. No more Captain America, no more Iron Man, no more this, no more that. And you're replaced with something that's not as good. Disappointment is how I feel. And I'm not going to hold back on letting you know that I'm disappointed. Disappointed in Star Wars. I'm disappointed in this. You can tell I'm a guy that knows my shit. I know Marvel. I know Star Wars. I know things that I like. And to watch all of it just kind of disappear like Thanos snapped it out of existence is annoying to say the least. Let's see. Our friend 007 Cloud, thank you very, very much for your super chat. Recently rewatched Spidey 3 with my girlfriend. It was much funnier than Homecoming. My girlfriend thought the black suit was sexier. Guess I'll be getting the black suit Raimi suit then. The black Raimi suit then. Hey, it sounds like your girlfriend has good taste. That's what I can say to you right now. Now, Spider-Man 3 has some decent moments. I say about 50% of it is good and the rest is bad. So it's a 50-50 movie for me. When we did our commentary for Spider-Man 3, we played Where Does It Shit the Bed game, which I do with all divisive films. For example, we played Where Does It Shit the Bed with The Last Jedi. For me, it shits the bed in the very beginning with the Poe Dameron joke. I'm like, what is this? Spider-Man 3 shits the bed for me right around where Harry gets his memory back, maybe a little earlier. Like, I'm buying it all up until, the Sandman's dead and all that stuff. And Peter's like, yeah, Spider-Man killed him. And then Aunt May's like, that's not what Spider-Man does. And I'm like, oh shit, this is getting really good. This is where the character needs to go. What did I do? Is it too late for me to be a hero and all this stuff? And then we get to the MJ stuff and it gets kind of dumb. I do think it's funnier than Homecoming at parts. Maybe it's cringe humor, but the Jon Favreau stuff is the funniest part of Spider-Man Homecoming. And after a while, even that wears its welcome out. So that's why I personally agree with you, 7 Cloud. Now, if you're getting yourself a black Spider-Man costume for your girlfriend, well, you're the best boyfriend possible because you do it for the love. You're going to wear a Spider-Man 3 black suit. Could be cool. Don't tell me what you do in the suit, but just have fun and enjoy it. I'm not built for that. But, I could be Darth Vader. Chain of Cyber 9 Avila says, can I get a 7 movie? Can I get 7 movies? The fans, LMAO fans, you serious? If anyone's going to get a 7-picture deal out of the MCU, can it be Coulson? Can he come back? I like Coulson. Everybody likes Coulson. We all miss him. But, may he rest in peace. Chris Mickick, thank you very much. Talk about Star Wars Theory video on the Phantom Menace and the Watchmen TV series announcement. Okay, I don't watch Star Wars Theory. I don't watch any Star Wars content. The reason I don't is because I never want to be accused of my Star Wars videos ripping off theirs. If I see something from, a post on Facebook, I'll mention a listener sent it in or something like that. But I don't watch other people's Star Wars content for that reason and that reason alone. I know right now is a trying time for the Star Wars fan community, and there's all kinds of stuff coming at you from both ends. But I tend to just look at it from my point of view, and I give you my own take. And I honestly believe that is why my Star Wars videos are more successful than most of them. Kathleen Kennedy got 1 million views in like a month. That's pretty impressive for a channel of our size. So I have not watched any of that stuff. I stay out of the Star Wars drama unless it's a big news story. So Star Wars Theory, the only thing I know about him or her, I don't even know who does the channel, is that if I ever go to Wikipedia, the stupid... wait, no, those are Star Wars Explained, right? I don't even know the difference. I'm sorry, Chris Mickick. I'll try to learn the difference one of these days, but I will talk about the Watchmen TV show for a moment. And by the way, I will not be going to SuperCon in Kentucky. We don't have any conventions planned as a channel until next Horror Hound, which, that's next year. You got plenty of time to get prepared for that here in Cincinnati. And if you show up as a world-class bullshitter fan, we're going to do a lot more fun stuff this year because it's my city. I'm going to show you all the cool spots. Like, I'm taking the guys this weekend to the Hofbräu house. So it'll be Dion when he gets into town, Nick, Channel Dad, Brian Lape, and a couple of my other local friends. And we're going to, hang out and do that kind of stuff. And we'll live stream from there. But if you do come to a convention here in Cincinnati, you're going to have a lot more fun because it's my town. And I'm going to make sure you guys have the best time possible. So from IndieWire, Watchmen first look. HBO teases new Damon Lindelof series with Instagram pic of law enforcement character. So let me try to find this for you guys to see. It's surprisingly dumb looking. Now yesterday, maybe it was you, Chris, maybe it was, but somebody asked me about my thoughts on Watchmen. I talked about it for a little bit. I guess I was fairly positive, right? I mean, I talk about so many things here on the channel. Watchmen overall, the movie did disappoint. Back then, I guess I've fallen out of favor. Let's see. Luke, oh my God, hold on. Well, fine, I'll get the Watchmen thing because you sent that super chat. Then we're going to have a laugh at this. So the other one's about Louis C.K. Oh, wait, what the hell just happened? Love when I click on something and it takes me to another website. I do not want to look at comic books right now. So let's look at this Watchmen show as a community, as a group of friends. So Watchmen, HBO TV series, photo reveals new character. Nothing ever ends, ... And And then let me add the next sentence. When there's money to be made from an already dead property. I think it's the most accurate statement you'll ever hear on the internet. So here we go. There's the first look at this cop with a yellow thing over his face. And it says, it wouldn't be Watchmen without someone in the iconic bright yellow. As part of the first look at the upcoming Damon Lindelof-led series, HBO launched an official Instagram account to provide some gradual new information, offering no other clarification beyond the caption, "Who watches The Watchmen?" and the phrase that peppers Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' original graphic novel. It's a tantalizingly small glimpse at one of the series' new characters. We'll leave it to the facial features analysts to parse which of the main cast that could be showing. As of now, the show has revealed an impressive ensemble, including Regina King, Jeremy Irons, Tim Blake Nelson, Lou Gossett Jr., and Don Johnson. Yes! Crockett from Miami Vice. Now, if we could get Philip Michael Thomas, and if this takes place in an alternate 1985 where Miami Vice is a real thing and not a TV show, I'm on board. I will get a cable package if they make this. If that is what happens in the show. You heard it here, folks. I'm a man of my word. When I tell you I'll buy turkey suits, I buy it. When I say I'll buy Mr. Ed, I'll buy it. If HBO goes out of the way to make Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas, the real-life Crockett and Tubbs, in this HBO Watchmen series, I will go sign up for a cable package and get HBO, and we'll talk about the show every day that, after it goes live. So, yeah, I hope that's the case. I hope that happens. 007 Cloud, thank you very much for your super chat. She likes Black Cat, and they share the same taste. Me and Pete, we wear the black suit because of them, LOL. Well, again, sounds like your lady has excellent taste. Black Cat, I like Black Cat more than I like Catwoman, so take with that what you will. But Felicia Hardy is a much more interesting character than Selena Kyle, unless it's the Frank Miller written Selena Kyle from Batman Year One, where she's a very Ophelia-like character. And if you don't get that Trading Places reference, well, you missed out on the 80s. Oh, you got the new Michael Myers mask from the new movie, the Trick or Treat Studios one. I almost bought that, but I ended up buying the Mezco 1/12 Collective Michael Myers instead, and that just arrived. This statement right here is going to get me to go the entire time this morning. So everyone, let's give thanks to our friend Michael Penarelli. Jeff, good morning. Pop culture is our Catalina wine mixer. Keep it going like 80s Joel. There we go. So Michael Penarelli, you are the reason why this show is going to go in another 45 minutes. I don't care if you're the only one here. I will keep this show rolling in honor of you and that statement, because that is the highlight of my day. Yes. Oh, man. I love that right there. Keep it going. Okay, so Star Wars Theory is the guy that is making the Vader fan film. Okay, yeah, the one that Jeremy was there for. I do follow Star Wars Theory. I saw his little post that says December. So I'm going to watch the fan film. Hey, Army Vet Rod, if you're out there, Sketch Therapy, let's do another one of those fan film things when that goes live. Let's do a community watch. Let's do it as a community watch. Let's see. I haven't read the new Timothy Zahn series. I don't watch Supergirl, so I don't know if it's ever good. Let's see. All right, so let's look at the thing that made me genuinely chuckle. This might be too spicy for those with tame taste buds, but let's enjoy a good laugh. So if you know who Louis C.K. is, you're a person that likes entertainment, because Louis C.K. was everywhere. Louis C.K.'s claim of sexual misconduct admission cost him $35 million. So if you ever think about what it's going to cost you to rub one out, feel guilty, because it won't cost you $35 million like Louis C.K. In his latest stand-up set, comedian Louis C.K. told the audience he lost $35 million as a result of his admission to sexual misconduct allegations. It was a year ago that Louis C.K. answered the New York Times story in which 5 women accused him of sexual misconduct over the course of many years. As a direct result of that admission, The Orchard dropped their plans to release C.K.'s film I Love You, Daddy, leaving the movie in limbo. In addition to the loss of his film deal, CK also lost his deal with FX, the network responsible for the producing of his acclaimed show, Louie. HBO too cut ties with the comedian in the wake of his admission of misconduct. CK elected to disappear from the public eye in the months after allegations against him, but he's recently resurfaced with a series of stand-up shows that have been met with a decidedly mixed reaction, but both by those in the audience and the public at large. Oh. As reported by Laughspin, Louis C.K. made another of his controversial comeback appearances last week. And this time, the comedian discussed the sexual misconduct allegations as well as his decision to publicly confirm them. CK's show went down on the West Side New York City Comedy Club. And according to those in attendance, at one point, CK claimed to have lost $35 million as a result of the misconduct. Damn. So, like I said, folks, $35 million for the what he did. That's all I can say. That's all I can say is I'm laughing. Good for him. Oh, let's see. Did you see the NPC memes on Twitter? It's hilarious how much people love SJWs. No, I don't run our Twitter. I haven't been on there lately. I did shoot out the tweet of Stealing Solo 999, but not. I haven't seen any of that. Star Wars Theory might be turning cuck. I don't know. Like I said, I subscribe to the channel out of support, and I'll watch the fan film, but I don't really know what he covers. So David Cook, thank you very much for your super chat. How's Harrison Ford lately in your basement? Is he getting his weekly muffing? He's not getting any muffing down in the basement. He's just he's there. It's kind of cold down there. We don't have heat, but he's chained up quite well. And you see, in the beginning, he refused to act in our fan film. So Kendo opted for the starvation approach. So he didn't eat for a couple days. And at his age, diabetes is a concern, I guess. I don't really know how that stuff works. But he wasn't fed for many, many days. And, he's cooperating. We've shot a lot of the stuff. So Harrison Ford's doing well. I will tell him that David Cook has asked, and I will make sure that he does not name you as one of the guilty involved with his kidnap and stealing Solo, a Captain's parody. Link in the description below. Boom. Getting warmer here in Australia, which is great. Yeah, rub it in. It's fucking cold in Ohio. It's in the 30s this morning. Freezing. All right? I don't have my heater on yet. I have to. It's not Louis C.K., it's Louis Cuck. Oh, okay. I'm the guilty one in mispronouncing that. That's okay. I guess I did get it wrong. But that's fine. You guys want to see an actual joke that might make you laugh? This is a nerdy sci-fi group. Maybe this meme will make you laugh. It ain't an NPC meme, but here you go. Rey is Palpatine. Rey is a Kenobi. Rogue One equals Knights of Ren. Snoke is Darth Plagueis. Snoke is Mace Windu. Kylo will turn good. Luke is Rey's father. Maz Kanata is a Jawa. That just made me laugh when I was looking up some images for our Rey discussion about her and Darth Plagueis. I was like, oh God. And for someone out there earlier who asked me, had I ever seen what Darth Plagueis looked like? Yes, I actually own the Darth Plagueis figure. I had bought it to sell on eBay, and during the 2013 Bubblegate controversy, the figures would just separate because they used a different glue. So it got separated in the mail, and this guy bitched up a storm, and he wanted his money back and the figure. I said, you can have your money back, but not the toy. So after he sent it back, he was refunded. And I have a Darth Plagueis in the box, but it's separated from the card, which I lost many years ago. But yeah, Darth Plagueis is a little gray alien-looking dude. He kind of looks like a gray version of Cad Bane, but really. Mr. V, thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Muff. Good morning to you. American Trend, I can always sell it to you. I can always sell it to you. I wonder, we'll see what Darth Plagueis goes for. We'll see what it goes for. Maybe I'll ship it to you with your Stealing Solo copy. since you backed it early on. That would be a really great way, if I could cover the shipping costs, that'd be a really great way to clean out this house. For every copy of Stealing Solo you buy for me, you get a free gift. What's the free gift? I decide. You might get a book. You might get a, I don't know, an empty Heineken bottle that says 007 on it. The possibilities are endless. Olivia Munn, Dark Side Master. She's something, all right. I don't know how I'd call her a Dark Side Master. She's not a very good actress. The Predator was not a hit, and she was a big part of that. I'm not blaming the failure of it on her. I don't think she's a big enough name to get people into the theater in the first place. For me, it's the chick from Tech TV, or G4. Yeah, G4. Formerly Tech TV. Formerly G4 Tech TV. Olivia Munn was... she was many things, but she was never a reliable voice in the world of technology reporting. Leave that for Kevin Pereira, not Chris Hardwick, or what's her name? Morgan Webb. She was legit too. Have you seen the Spirit of Haddonfield or last year's Never Hike Alone fan films? Yes, I did, Etep Wakuyan. I saw the Spirit of Haddonfield, and I did not like it at all. Now, I am not one to shy away from criticizing big movies or professionally created works, but I am of the mind that I hate to rip on independent stuff because it can hurt them, because people listen to what I say, and I don't want to keep people that may like something that likes what I have to talk about from experiencing it for themselves. So while I do not like Spirit of Haddonfield at all, I do recommend that if you come across it, give it a watch, help them out, go support the independent art. I'm not trying to take away from the clicks for them, but since you asked, I do not think Spirit of Haddonfield was good at all. I thought the beginning was very was poorly shot. I didn't really like how the girl's walking down the street. She just so happens to be the granddaughter of Laurie Strode. Then Michael Myers just kind of walks out from behind a house and starts following her. I thought the actress wasn't very good either. They could have done more with her. They could have done more with the whole Halloween thing. I mean, Halloween comes out in 2 days. I will be seeing that on Saturday with Nick, Kendo, and Dan, and Phil, and myself. And we'll do a little live stream afterwards and talk about that film for all you guys. But a Spirit of Haddonfield fan film, I just was disappointed. So, though I don't like it, please check it out for yourselves. Give them the click. Give them the view. Help out. Support independent art. Like I said, I have no qualms with avoiding the Predator or shitting on Venom if I see it, stuff like that. I don't care. All those actors got paid. Everyone's fine. They're all going to eat. They're all going to work again. Independent stuff, really is a much different situation. But I will say this. Independent horror, while I support the idea, a lot of independent stuff, fan films in general, and I'm not taking shots at Star Wars Theory or anybody like that, so don't read into it. But a lot of my problems with independent fan stuff is that they fanboy out over specific elements that don't make the story great. This Halloween fan film, they were so focused on reenacting the original scene from the closet or the Michael Myers head tilt, these little bitty things that are a part of the character and the lore, but they forgot the overarching thing of what made Halloween work, or what makes Star Wars work, or what makes all of these properties work. If you do a Spider-Man fan film, you don't need to have 10 minutes of parkour to some shitty, poorly orchestrated music. You need some kind of compelling human drama. You could tell the greatest Spider-Man fan film without ever showing Spider-Man or a villain, because the human drama is what makes the character so great. With Halloween, it's the suspense, it's the atmosphere. This new one had none of it. So that's why it doesn't work for me. A lot of independent horror in general, outside of a fan film, doesn't work because these people are focused on the vulgar characters and the violence and the tits and the gore. All of those things work, but you need wait for it, you need a story. A lot of these things don't have stories. They're very thinly put together. Stealing Solo is a parody, but it has its own story structure as well. It's not just, Harrison Ford's in the basement. There's a story that gets you to that logical point, and then the story goes from there with him in it, type of thing. and then it parodies all the things, the Star Wars stuff. But you need to have an overarching thread to keep you engaged. It's not just, like if you, it's like these fan films and a lot of these things are just clip shows of stuff they like. Like Friday the 13th is barely a movie, but at least it has some narrative structure. Fan films based on that shit don't. It's just Jason walks up and kills somebody. People are having sex, Jason kills somebody. Yeah, you can argue that's what Friday the 13th Part 5 is, but at least there's that little bit where they try to incorporate his son was killed and it's a different imposter Jason. Just little things like that. That was a very, very in-depth answer. Sorry. I apologize. Hey, why do I apologize? You guys ask me questions. Why not give you the most for your time? Eddie Max Levander, thank you very much for your super chat. Does Callista Flockhart play a role in the kidnapping of Mr. Ford? No. Nobody in his family is involved because it really wouldn't make any sense, to be honest. I thought about her and stuff like that, but I don't think anybody would know. I mean, some people know he's married to her. A lot of people do. But, she's just not a part of the story at all. It's about him and us as a community. Trust me. Like I said, I've been very careful. Like, I will never reveal the ending. I will never reveal the big twists here and there. There's a lot of them. So you guys, like I said, you got to pick up the book. We got 5 days left, and a lot of you have. It's been pretty awesome. So I'm thankful to everyone out there who's backed the book. You will get your big comic book professionally printed, lettered and colored, and drawn and written by me. And you've already seen some of the artwork, and you've heard my writing, and you just haven't known it. And but no, our friend Callista Flockhart is not involved with at all. So I hope that doesn't dissuade anyone from picking it up. I know there are a lot of Ally McBeal enthusiasts out there. And hey, I get it. I like Robert Downey Jr. pre-Iron Man as well. But I'm sorry, she just does not play a role in that at all. Spirit of Haddonfield was nowhere near as good as Never Hike Alone. Acting was bad, just kind of bland. Watch Spirit just to support the indies. Yes, same here. All to support the indies. Guys, I know sometimes it seems like a stretch, but supporting the indies helps new voices get out there. Maybe Spirit of Haddonfield didn't work, Never Hike Alone did. So then the next one works, and then you have like a big movie, and it's like the next Paranormal Activity phenomenon, where it's something that's kind of good, and then it gets bastardized down the road. But you did help somebody, make it big. You can take pride in that too. I always talk about how Star Wars is the story of us, and yeah, it's become this big corporately produced thing, but had people not reacted to it the way they did back in 77, it wouldn't be what it is today. So we, in a way, are all responsible for success. Every movie's success really is, responsible, or the fans are responsible for going out and making it a hit. You can all take pride in that. If you were one of those people that saw it back in 77, you helped spread the word and make it a thing. Sinvorath 653 says, I'll be seeing the new Halloween on Saturday with my dad and brother. Ooh, it looks like it's going to be good. I listened to the soundtrack this morning. Literally the first thing I did when I got up is I heard that they had released a new thing, and I turned it on and I liked it. I'm almost fanboying out for this movie, but I'm trying to remain respectable. As respectable as a guy like me can be. ARG Man, thank you very much for grabbing your copy of Stealing. So like I said, guys, you all know the release date. I've made that public since the day we launched it. It'll be out in time, just like I promised. You guys will have it, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll talk about it, very, very soon. Chain of Cyber 9 Avila, thank you very much. Ford, I didn't kill SJ. I didn't kill Star Wars. Jeff, I don't care. I love The Fugitive so much. I almost incorporated a fugitive element into the story, but then I thought it would get a little too convoluted. So I did incorporate other elements. But I do love The Fugitive. Ooh, I just got back from Halloween 40. Got to meet Nick Castle and Tom Atkins. Great guys. I am very jealous of you, Last Starfighter 74. I just watched Creepshow last night for like the 10th time, maybe the 20th. I love that movie. But I bought the new Blu-ray from Shout Factory, from Scream Factory. And The transfer was amazing, but Tom Atkins was on a special feature, and he seems like such a cool dude. And I'd love to meet Nick Castle. Now, I'm friends with Tommy Lee Wallace on Facebook, and he is really friendly. So a lot of those people are big, like really good guys, and it's nice to see that. I hate when you meet some of these people and they're just dicks. I won't name names, but some people are assholes that have played these horror icons. Now, Kane Hodder's like the nicest guy. He does shit for charity. He's a great person. Robert Englund's very cool too. Bruce Campbell, cocky but fun. You get what you want out of these people. They're very cool dudes. They know where their bread is buttered. They know where they fall at in line in terms of celebrity and stardom. But like guy that plays Pinhead's not a nice guy. Tom Savini used to be known as not that friendly. He's kind of changed his tune, and he's a lot friendlier. I'm not saying he comes up to random people and hugs them, but our show banner caught his eye. He kept looking at it, and I could see him on the periphery of my eye. And I looked over. I'm like, Tom Savini's checking out our banner. I was like, cool, Tom Savini, what's up? He's like, hey, man. And he looked at it for a few more seconds and then walked off. And then every time he would walk by, Dion and Nick would go, sex machine, like that. And he would just like stop and nod and walk by. It was fun. But I wanted to go to that convention, but I couldn't make it out there. Obviously, I had stuff to do. Once we're world-class bullshitters, international men of travel, we'll go to all these conventions and stuff. The channel's in the right direction. So, guys, all it is the waiting game. The patience on your part. Stealing Solo is a channel thing. It helps build the channel. It helps give you more world-class bullshitters in the real world. Dayton Pfeiffer, thank you very much for your super chat. 2 days more until I'll be seeing the new Halloween film. Oh. I wish I could see it as early as you. But, I'll see it on Saturday. And you can tell me what you think over on the Facebook page, and I'll give you guys a little video review of what we think of it on Saturday afternoon before the party. And we'll talk about Halloween, and then we'll move into the next phase of Schlocktoberfest. We're getting nearer and nearer to our all-day stream. So if you guys are off Wednesday, October 31st, we have a strict 10 a.m. start time, and we're going to start with Cabin Fever. We're going to work our way all the way through Halloween, Maximum Overdrive, and even if enough people are watching, we'll do a secret extra movie that people are going to love. Are you planning to get any of the upcoming Marvel Legends figures, Xavier and what they showed at New York Comic Con? Yeah, I'm going to buy most of those, sadly. So yeah, I'm going to get Charles Xavier. I already bought Archangel. I don't even like the character, but he looked cool. I'm going to get Charles. I'm going to get all kinds of people. If they were a 90s X-Men character, like I bought Bishop and Cable. I don't really like them that much, but I'm in this X-Men mode. I bought 2 yellow Wolverines, yellow and blue suits. So yes, I'm going to pick up all of those. Jeff, will there be a world-class bullshitter Stealing Solo release episode to discuss the book and its art? Yeah, maybe. Here's the thing, though. I don't want to put out this episode like, yeah, this is what you guys missed, and kind of look like, that'd be kind of dickish, don't you think? I'm not one of those people that's like trying to rub it in anyone's nose. I don't, maybe part of Comicscape, but I don't go out there and try to tear people down. I'm just doing my own thing, my own way. And lots and lots of people have supported this. Tens of thousands of people like how the channel operates as it is. So I don't want to become the very thing that I hate. So maybe we can show more and talk about it, but I'll put the disclaimer, this isn't to say, I told you so. This is just, for entertaining content type of thing. So maybe. Come to Connecticut, not too far from the Mohegan Sun and Foxwood casinos are always doing cons. The Mohegan Sun. I only know that place from the WWE. Good times. Good times. Ever seen the clip of Kesha trying to hug Jerry Seinfeld doing an interview and he won't let her? I have not seen that. I'll have to watch that later. Is 50K the next stretch goal? Yeah. I am... take this honestly. I'm very appreciative and thankful to everyone. But if we could get to that stretch goal, I could put out an anthology. And that would be an Ashcan edition of the comic. Hell, you know what? I may not even... I'll put it like this. If it gets there, I may not even cheap out for the Ashcan edition. I may just take the pre-existing colors and letters and release it. So you won't even get like a cheap, dumbed-down version. It'll be a full-size book. I really want that story. So that is the next stretch goal of 50. The other Comicsgate guys, I never heard back about the trading cards. So unless, I hear from something from Ethan tonight, there isn't one. The next one is 50, and we're really close. So if the people that have been on the fence are waiting, do it. We can make that happen, and everyone gets an extra comic book. But yeah, 50 is the next stretch goal. Yeah, don't want to Johnson it. Never. You never want to Johnson anything. Jerry Seinfeld didn't know who Kesha was. I sadly do. There was a girl that I kind of liked across the hall when I lived in an apartment, and they kept listening to that stupid song, TikTok. I was like, ugh. Kesha's, people are like, yeah, Kesha's this science major, this math major, something. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I still don't like her music. If you spell your name with a money symbol, you're not my friend. Makita Goot stealing solo. It passed 1,000 copies sold. It's only a few bucks away from passing 40,000. If it can reach one more tier up, then it goes to 50, which everyone gets a comic. So if you've already picked up a copy, I'm going to send out a tweet. If you're out there, just retweet that with a link, and there we go. We're going to be good to go. We'll have we can hit that next stretch goal. No holographic first edition stealing solo card. No, I guess not. I never heard back from the other Comicsgate guys. Did the other guys do that? I'll talk to Ethan tonight. It's funny you brought up world-class bullshitters trading cards. That was something I had thought about. Seriously, that was not a crazy concept. I was thinking of doing a set or two, and you can buy them on the website, which if you listen to this week's podcast, if you're a patron, you already know this because I've already released you this week's episode 145. But if you're not, just wait till Thursday night. Slightly different edit. But if you're a patron, you already know our website name, where we're going to have all the world-class bullshitter stuff. And we'll have trading cards, just fun little things like that. And, you can bring them to conventions and sign them. I'm also working on a fan club idea and a rewards card idea. Many things that have been simmering. See, here, I'll tell you guys something about me that I may have not talked about. Back in 2013, I was trying to start a business with my cousin. I was still in college. We were going to do this. You guys ever heard of Mondo posters? They do like all these art things. My cousin and I were going to try to do something like that. He knew horror. He knew what people liked, and I knew how to draw. So I thought we were going to do a crazy business like that. And so we did one poster, and I put in the money and put in $1,000 to get these posters printed. Because you think some of the stuff sounds expensive. It is that expensive to produce. I mean, to do these big posters was not cheap. And then, my cousin flaked off and the business fell apart. But I had all these ideas. I wanted to do, like, if you buy a poster, you get a little thing, and then you build up to it, and then boom, you get something free in the mail. I had all these ideas written down, all these exciting things to build a fan base around whatever we make. And so I'm just going to take those ideas and put them to world-class bullshitters, the community. Maybe it wasn't meant to be back then with him, but now it's meant to be. Maybe these other comics that I was doing with other people weren't meant to be, but now these comics are meant to be. So I don't hold grudges. I don't get angry. I don't think about the past in a negative way. I just think of all these things that have happened. Like Randall says in Clerks, I'm just building towards something. I am. We're here. We've built towards it, and now we're really, really enjoying it. So, the bullshitters cards are coming. I'm going to do new illustrations for all of them, and we'll see how much holographic stuff goes for, or how much it costs to get printed. I'm not cheap when it comes to our merchandise. Yeah, I'd like to make a 1,000,000,000% markup, but I would rather give you guys something that lasts a long time. My name's just as important as the money I would make. So I don't want to ever be known as, oh, you sold me a bunch of shitty t-shirts from China. No, we're making the stuff by hand. Down the road, we're going to get into silk screening by hand too, and just go the extra mile, because that's what I'm into. When I buy stuff, I want it to last. So when you buy stuff, I want it to last too, because my face is literally on the product. I don't want to be known as that guy. So there we go. Let's see. Dr. Martin Luther Pepe. When was the release date of the trailer? A fucking event? I don't know when it was a fucking event, Dr. Martin Luther Pepe. For me, a trailer should just kind of come. What makes me the happiest is when a trailer just shows up at a theater and you go, oh my God, I didn't know they were making this. That's how it was for a lot of movies for me. I'll tell you this. I didn't realize they were making Spider-Man 2 until I got an email from Sony Pictures that says Spider-Man 2's trailer is here. And I clicked on it. And this was back when I had dial-up. Or no, wait. This would have been Early, yeah, I had dial-up. I still had dial-up internet in 2003. Or maybe it was early '04. We didn't get broadband until right before the school year started '04. But I remember sitting there waiting for it to buff. I believe there's a hero in all of us. That was all fun, crazy stuff. I just remember being so excited. But now a trailer's event. You know what bothers me is that the pre-trailer, it's like coming to Good Morning America, and it's like a 2-second clip tomorrow. I'm like, fuck. I hate that kind of stuff. That's what annoys me. Just give me a 3-minute trailer on Good Morning America. Let it go to the YouTube channel instantly after that, and then we're good. Not any of this crap. I hate when they try to do that. But yeah, people are still talking about the trading cards. Cool. I'm glad you guys like that stuff. I'm also gonna do we'll have like exclusive shirts too, like, a Muff Daddy shirt will be available for a short time. Like, we'll always have the main stuff, but this month we are featuring Muff Daddy or Dion Green's Old Fashioned Doo-Doo Butter, just shit like that. That if you like it, you get it, but it's not necessarily you don't have to get it type of thing. It'll just be something for everybody at all times, and that's gonna be exciting because that way I can focus on the single videos, do the writing, do what I got to do, and then jump over and make the merchandise. I like making this stuff. I'm not really a craftsman, as you would call it traditionally, but I found over the last couple of years, I like doing shit like this. Like, I installed stuff in the house. I was like, okay, I know some handyman stuff. I felt accomplished. I put in a new door lock. I built some shit, some furniture. I was kind of cool with that. Yes, t-shirts. Oh yeah, put it like this, guys. You may be waiting for me, but I'm not just going to put it on like a third-party site like I have with Etsy right now. No. When I do stuff and I say I do it my way isn't, an ego thing. It's, I want to make sure it's the best and I can control the quality all the way to the top, all the way directly to you. And we're not just going to offer you 1 or 2 shirts. We're going to offer you a line of shirts, stuff we talk about on the show, stuff we talk about here on Good Morning Pop Culture. There will be your Good Morning Pop Culture mugs and your shirts, and there'll be a Working and Lurking mug and all that stuff that you want too. Don't worry. Like I said, this show builds community. World Class Bullshitter single videos builds the fan base type of thing. It's a 1-2 punch. And if you have a strong community as well as a strong fan base with big numbers, everybody wins. And it, I could funnel money into the channel and we can have more stuff here and it all balances itself out. John Chipola, all copies of Stealing Solo are autographed. Unless you buy the blank cover variant, I will autograph everybody's book. That is a thing. Everybody gets an autograph, and unless you request to remain anonymous, everybody gets a thank you in the book. This wouldn't be possible without any of you out there, or without all of you out there. This is 1,014 strong at this point. So, as a big thank you to everybody, your name's in the book, and I don't care how much extra that costs to print in the book. Everyone's name will get listed as a thank you because you deserve it. I owe it to you. I will always have Stealing Solo as my first comic to be a massive success, and it's because of everyone that backed it. I've said this before. Complete strangers, like a lot of you guys, 7 of you have met me roughly. Let's say 7 to 10. You guys out there, the strangers that have backed the book that are here every day, have shown more support for me than like a lot of people in my own personal life. So I will always remember that. So maybe your name's printed as whatever, a screen name, this, that, and the other. But that is just one extra person that helped me achieve a goal. I used to say a dream, but then somebody said dreams aren't achievable, but goals are. And I thought, well, that's a very good statement. That's a good point. So I use the phrase goal, and you helped me achieve a big goal, and I'm very, very happy about that. So you're going to get your copy autographed, John. So thank you. And 17 Wiener Dogs. Ooh, who's my celebrity crush? Do I have one? Yeah, I have a couple women that I find. I really have a celebrity crush on Alexandra Daddario. I know why. You guys can Google her. I definitely do. Her, a couple of the other ones I like that are married, like Christina Hendricks or Sofia Vergara. I like Kelly Brook, Kat Dennings. I have a type. You guys can easily figure it out. But I guess my biggest celebrity crush would be Alexandra Daddario. That'd be weird. A guy like, I don't want to sell myself short. A guy like me and a girl like her. Hey, Han Solo got Princess Leia. I don't have the Millennium Falcon, but I do have a Volkswagen. The release date of the trailer was rumored to be the teaser at the Super Bowl on February 3rd, and then the full trailer will be released, rumored, according to the express.co.uk, at Star Wars Celebration in April. A lot of people are liking, okay. People like my choice for Alexandra Daddario. Awesome. Boom. Yeah, she's mine. My celebrity crush, not mine. I don't know her. Shit. Probably, chances are I'm meeting her. You never know. Not going to say never. Because look it, never say never. Sean Connery will never play Bond. Well, he played James Bond again. So if that can happen, anything can happen. Kevin Garnett said so. Ooh, Rosario Dawson's on there too for me. I like her. Somebody has a crush on Chun-Li. You know, there's a limit to muscular thighs. And if your thigh is the size of my chest, I think I've reached that limit with you. Way better than Dion's choice, his little muff crumb, Lena Dunham. I can't even say it straight. Nah, she, hey, everybody's got their own choice. Everyone's got their own tastes. I just happen to be more sophisticated. Oh. Disappointed we never got to see Jessica Biel's Red Sonja. I didn't even know that was a possibility that Jessica Biel was going to play Red Sonja. Let's see. Robert Whitaker says, "We have a booth set up at Horror Hound, or do I just have to find you walking around?" Oh, I get a booth. Again, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I don't cheap out when it comes to this channel. If it costs money, it costs money. I already dropped $500 on Horror Hound Cincinnati. We got a booth with electricity and multiple badges. We're going to be, by the time we'll have the website will be up this year in a few weeks. It'll be done and all that stuff. We'll have exclusive con merchandise at that point, you know, lithographs, maybe stuff like that, just fun stuff that you can only get at the show. And we will always have a table. Now, for Star Wars Celebration, unless they're going to give us, like, you know, let us get one, which you never know, we'll just be walking around. But I always, when I announce them at a con, I mean, I will have a table. I will put in the cash, and I will get the guys to put in the time at work, and we will come down to wherever it is that we're requested, and we appear like Johnny Wishbone. You just say my name, and there I am. So yeah, we are getting a table. You won't have to find us. Like in Horror Hound this year, we had a table. We were next to two toy vendors. Actually, we were next to a toy vendor and a mystery box vendor. And it was weird. We were at a show not trying to sell a single thing. And it was the best time I ever had. Because sometimes you work these shows and you're like, man, I put in $1,500. I really, really need to make my money back. And now with the channel, the way it operates, it's like, this is an expense for the channel. It's a way to connect with people. It's a way to spread the word, make content, you know, do work together. It's just a fun time. So, yeah, Superfan Adam Shawhan was there. That's how he became Superfan Adam Shawhan. You know, it's not that he bought 400 copies of Stealing Solo himself to distribute all over the Midwest. It's that, you know, he was a good dude. He was a lot of fun. But he told me an awesome story about how he found the show and stuff like that. And that's how he became Superfan Adam Shawhan. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a title you can buy. It was just, you know, dedication to the channel and what it means and stuff like that. So that is how you, that's how he got the title. Jajigify says, Psylocke from X-Men, specifically Jim Lee's interpretation, sexiness personified. She was also in the Capcom games at the time. Also, Rose McGowan was almost Red Sonja. What the fuck? Let's see. Psylocke from the X-Men. Yeah, I could see why you love her as a celebrity crush. I know I was just shitting on Olivia Munn, but I thought she looked good as Psylocke. I want to pick up the Psylocke action figure, actually. She's cool. I was never the biggest fan because she wasn't on the cartoon proper, but as I got older, I learned who she was. Definitely in the video game, I like to use her quite a bit. Rose McGowan. I don't like Rose McGowan. Even if you take her out of this recent political kerfuffle, you know, out in Hollywood, I was never a fan. So her current movement doesn't dictate my opinion of her. She was just there. I know her as Marilyn Manson's ex-girlfriend, and she's in a bunch of shitty movies and TV shows that were never geared towards me. So that is how I look at Rose McGowan. Episode 5 through 10 were mental hallucinations, visions from Luke Skywalker during his time when he was knocked out by Tusken Raiders in episode 4. What a fucking twist. What a could you imagine if Disney had the balls to do that? I would never be angry about Star Wars again. It's so crazy it would work. Like he wakes up in Obi-Wan's hut and he's like, all right, let's go on a journey. And then, you know, the rest is history. That would be amazing. Let's see. She was okay in Planet Terror. That's about it. Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. Ooh, Jennifer Connelly. If I was an older man, Jennifer Connelly's still hot. She would be on my list. If honestly, if I was 10 years older, probably Jennifer Connelly would be my Alexandra Daddario. But as a kid, I like Pamela Anderson and that kind of stuff. But my tastes have changed as I've gotten older. So maybe for the better, more refined, if you will. You know, when I was first starting out drinking, I was drinking Magnum 40s or King Cobra malt liquor. Ugh, I want to puke thinking about those. Now, you know, Phil, like I told you guys yesterday, Phil brewed me had my own beer brewed for me on my birthday, or for my birthday that's coming up. I already drank it all. It's delicious. Thank you, Phil. But, you know, your tastes evolve, your tastes change. Sometimes things you find them early and they stick with you, like Star Wars, like Spider-Man for me, Bond, certain things, and you like them the way you found them, but you're also accepting the other things. And when I mean like them the way I found them, when I thought Star Wars was one movie, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And there was a trilogy, I got involved in all of it. 007 Cloud says 90s Salma Hayek. Yeah. Will you be bringing copies of Stealing Soda Horror Hound, or should we bring our own? Well, Robert Whitaker, you're going to get your copy autographed in the mail directly sent to you. I will not be taking the book to conventions at all, ever. Like I said, to the people that have backed it, this is a thank you. This is your book you have backed, and that's it. So if you bring it to me, if you want to, you know, I don't know if you want a double autograph or you want me to talk about the book with you, sure. Here's the thing, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I can't talk about it. No, man. I appreciate that you backed it. Any questions you have, I'll gladly answer. But I won't be taking it to shows to sell. I'm getting the print number that is required for everyone that has backed the book. I'm going to get myself about 5 copies to keep personally, 1 to read and 4 to put up, because hey, it's my book, why not? And that's it. That is it. And I'll gift the guys on the show a book because, you know, they're in it. So I guess I have to. Dario's eyes are staring right into my soul. Yeah, that's why I like her, kind of. Selma Hayek couldn't hold a candle to Monica Bellucci. Again, it's like 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 constantly. It's like no one's a loser in this scenario. Imagine you're the guy that all these women would want. You would die afterwards. There's just nothing else you could achieve. Just putting it out there, man. Just putting it out there. I'm bringing my blank one to be signed by everyone in Chicago. Oh, okay. That's cool, man. We will gladly do that for you. Anything you want, Superfan Adam Shawhan. Anything you want, man. Martine Beswick from Thunderball, though she's way past her prime now. She was a good-looking woman. My favorite Bond girls, look-wise, are Domino and Fiona Volpe. So Thunderball has the best Bond girls, in my opinion. Ooh, Penelope Cruz, early 2000s Halle Berry, Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel is a good-looking woman. Carrie Fisher. You know, in Empire Strikes Back, she was cute. I thought she was too thin in Return of the Jedi. But I thought she looked good in Blues Brothers. Then again, that would be, you know, the same time as Empire. So I can't really break that down too much. Have you played the Super Star Wars SNES game? Yes, I have. Not only have I played it, I own all 3. So I own all of them. I've only beat Return of the Jedi. The other ones are hard as shit. But I've played them and I love them. Maybe I'll do a video on them down the road. I could do a Let's Play. If I could figure out how to hook up a Super Nintendo to all this shit, why not? You could watch me fail miserably. We could I could get that set up. I could get a camera on me, have you know, a couple beverages, and we could play Super Star Wars, the trilogy. We'll see if I can beat it. Oh, come on, Jeff. You know you like her for her stance on the geopolitical ramifications of the U.S.-China trade war. Guilty. Scarlett Johansson, that was another one I liked. All the way back from when I was a kid, I was like, okay. And then, you know, Ghost World and all that stuff. Not sure how much you're into toys. Jijigify, are you seriously asking me this? Never, ever preface. Not sure how much you're into toys. Dude, I got a box full of shit that I don't even know where to put right now. In this box is a Dragon Zord, Star Trek figures, Dr. Octopus, Captain America, Wolverine, Iron Man fell out, the Ecto 2 from Ghostbusters. I like toys. Anyway, to answer your question, the original G1 Transformer figures came back to store shelves recently, about 30 years, 100% authentic packaging. I have heard about that. Our friend American Trent 007 sent me, I believe, a screenshot, or he told me about it. If Optimus Prime, if I find that, I'll get it. I had the G2 Optimus Prime as a kid, and that was a lot of fun. That was one of the few toys that wasn't Power Rangers that would play with the Power Rangers. Optimus Prime was like, he was Ninjor before Ninjor was a thing. Let's see. Tim Riggs. Oh man, this is a great chat message too. Forgetting Yvette from Clue. One of the best racks in the early 80s. Dear God, she let herself go, but damn, she was smoking. Yeah, what was her name? Colleen Kemp. She was great in Clue. She looked good in Wayne's World as well. I like Wayne's World quite a bit. Out of curiosity, what are your opinion of the prequels? As a kid, I didn't like episodes 1 and 2. When I saw 3, I liked it instantly, so much that I saw it on 2 continents. Going back, after episode 7 especially, I respect the prequels a lot more. I dare say I kind of have a soft spot for episode 1. Just saying that. Still, 2 is not that good, but I would rather watch the prequels over all the Disney movies. I'm trying to think, do I want to include Rogue One over those? 4, 5, 6, 3, Rogue One, 1, 2, 7, 8. Oh, wait, sorry. Solo, 7, 8. Solo's bad, but it's not offensively bad. Phoebe Cates, good choice. Kate Winslet did look good in Titanic. Helen Hunt. I always think of Bonnie Hunt from Jumanji. Whenever anyone says Helen Hunt, I'm like, you mean Bonnie Hunt from Jumanji? Sarah Whittle? I love Jumanji, man. What a great, great, great movie. Oh, yeah. The Jacobite. Vivica Fox, Independence Day era. Again, excellent choices. I think this community is full of people with excellent taste in movies, in music, in TV shows, celebrity crushes, as well as morning shows, because you guys spend every day with us here on Good Morning Pop Culture. Say what you will about the prequels, but they're 10 times more entertaining than the Disney era. Jigify, yeah. At least there was originality and creativity. We had never seen a water planet in Star Wars, but guess what? We did with Camino in episode 2. George Lucas homaged the asteroid chase in episode 2, but it was completely different. It was just the asteroid field with the bombs and all that, and it was cool. What if Anne Hathaway stars as the next Bond girl? Oh, I mean, I guess I'd see the movie. Bond girls die in movies. Sometimes they do. Miranda Frost bit the bullet. I wouldn't mind seeing Anne Hathaway in that film bite the bullet as well. Did you hear about the Ahmed Best voice of Jar Jar having suicide attempts after the Phantom Menace? I heard about that recently. That came out after the Kelly Marie transition away from Solo's failure. That was kind of a weird time, because that's the kind of story that you can't dispute. If an actor comes out and says that, I can't dispute, well, those weren't his thoughts or interpret. No, he had those thoughts, and it was terrible that a person had to go through that. But we can't blame that on social media. Maybe his career didn't go the way he wanted. Maybe people were rude to him, stuff like that. I'm not denying any of those things happened. I'm not saying there's any good that came out of it as well. I'm sorry that Ahmed Best had those things. He has been typecast as a character, and at least he had a character to be typecast as. If Christopher Reeve had to be typecast as Superman, well, damn it, you want to be known as the greatest superhero of all time. Christopher Reeve, well, you still are, even though you're no longer with us. So I feel bad for Ahmed Best. I don't know him personally. I never have met him, never will. But I'm sad that he went through those suicidal thoughts. Jeff, who's your WWE crush, Diva? Trish Stratus all day, every day. All day, every day. Eliza Dushku, excellent choice as well. Can we still call Jar Jar the worst Star Wars character? Yeah. Let me tell you something. Just because Ahmed Best had issues in his own personal life, or just because Rose Tico was bullied or whatever on Instagram, doesn't make their characters, bulletproof to criticism. Rose Tico is still a bad character. Kelly Marie Tran is not a bad person. I don't know her personally. Every critique I have of, Holdo is not Laura Dern. It's Vice Admiral Holdo. I don't like her, the character. I don't like Rose Tico, the character. I don't like Ray, the character. But I don't dislike Daisy Ridley, Kelly Marie Tran, or Laura Dern. I have no problems with any of them as people. If I ever met them in public, I wouldn't know what to say. I'd say, hey, I'd shake their hand and move on. That'd be about it. I don't really have any love or any disrespect for him. But don't think that Jar Jar needs to be praised because Ahmed Best had, suicidal thoughts. He did the job he was paid to do, and the movie is the product of George Lucas and the people involved. So if you don't like it, you can't be guilted into liking these films. Don't ever fall into that trap. That is a trap that is so big, even Admiral Akbar might fall into it. But don't allow yourself to be duped into pity liking something. Don't sympathy, give Jar Jar a pass. Ooh, Jigify, thank you very much for your super chat. Let's see. Which do you think is better, the 1968 Night of the Living Dead or the 1990 remake? I think the remake was a lot better and improved upon the original. Oh, I like them both. I think I'm going to pick the original. I like the remake's fine too. Night of the Living Dead has never been a favorite zombie flick of mine. I respect it. When I say I respect a movie, it means I understand why it's regarded the way it is. I understand why it's so popular. I respect Lord of the Rings. I don't watch them. I don't really like them, but I respect them. Same with Night of the Living Dead. I got nothing but respect for it. I've seen it a dozen times. It's free. It's on YouTube. I like it enough. Remake pretty good too. But I don't have the love. Now, Dawn of the Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. And I actually have the decision in my mind, which is better, the original or remake. They're completely different films. So you can have different discussions. But to answer yours, I will go with the original. I like the acting. Some of the hokiness is fun. The zombies were considered ghouls. And the ending, man, the ending is just downright depressing. So Night of the Living Dead is a horror film that I would, if I had a kid that was, 8 years old, that's how I would get a kid started out on horror flicks, because I don't consider it overly gory. It's kind of hokey. Yeah, there's that shot of the lady's butt, but I mean, whatever. But those type of things, that to me is a good starter horror flick. Halloween's a good starter horror flick. I wouldn't show a kid Hellraiser or Videodrome or something like that. It would start tame. And Night of the Living Dead is very tame to me. I enjoy it. I enjoy it quite a bit. What movie remakes do you think were done right? The Thing was great. Scarface, Night of the Living Dead had a fine remake to jump off of that point. Some remakes are fine. Some remakes are unnecessary. Ghostbusters doesn't need to be remade. Oh, wait, it happened. Fuck you, Paul Feig. You don't need to remake Halloween. Oh, wait, Rob Zombie did it. You suck, Rob Zombie, especially number 2. Garbage film. So The Thing, Scarface, it was a great remake. To me, if it comes from a book, it's not another adaptation. I mean, how many times told certain stories? A lot. To me, it's just when you adapt a book, you're doing it either more faithfully or this or that. Now, the movie, the TV movie, lives in a space by itself, and I love it. Tim Curry's the man. But Bill Skarsgård did a great job, and the kids from It, the new one, are much better actors than the kids from It, the original. Yes, I like Seth Green, and I love the adult characters. Maybe that's why the original It also holds a special place in my heart. I mean, John Ritter, no longer with us, rest in peace. John Ritter seemed like a great dude. Harry Stone from Night Court. Oh, what's her fucking face? Oh, man, I can't. Name's drawn a blank, but she's like if I was back in the 80s, she'd be my Hollywood crush. The woman from 48 Hours, she's in the movie. Not Annette Bening. Oh, God, I can't think of her name. It matters, but right now I can't stop to think about it. The latest film, The Thing, was a prequel, not a remake. I don't talk about the 2011 one. I'm talking about the 1982 Thing, the good one, the real Thing. Annette O'Toole, thank you. Annette O'Toole. There we go. I like her quite a bit. Superman 3, 48 Hours. I like her quite a bit. And she was a Superman fan, a comic book fan. She was into all this shit. She seemed like really excited to be in these movies. I like that about these people. Remake episodes 6 and 7, please. You want to remake Return of the Jedi? Another Tool is married to Michael McKean. Good for Michael McKean. Good for him, man. The Real Thing, Jeff is shilling for Coke now. Well, I always do talk about that new Coke parallel, don't I? Catch the wave. I'm going to catch a $20 million payday. How crazy would that be? Coke pays me $20 million to promote it to 400 people. What a waste of money. Good waste of money because I'm worth it. Isn't it like a Pantene commercial too? So I just shilled for commercial and Coca-Cola. P&G, Coca-Cola, where are my checks? You know where I live. I buy your shit. Evil Dead, did you enjoy that one? Which one? All of them. 1 through 3 are great. Remakes all right. And I know Army of Darkness is not called Evil Dead 3, but I'm just calling it that for the sake of brevity, which has now been ruined because I went back to explain myself. I get it. Yeah, big fan Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. Love them both. Jamie Lee in Trading Places, excellent choice. Let's see. Jeff, you was smart, you was kind, you was important. Thanks, Holdo's Muff, aka DJ Khaled. I'm loyal. Army of Darkness is a different beast, but I'm partial to it. I love Army of Darkness. I got it on Blu-ray, Screwhead Edition. Maybe we won't be doing it for this Halloween, but we'll be doing it relatively soon. So you guys have got me to talk extra long today. Good job. You got me on a roll talking about movie remakes, but I think it's time to close this out. Unless there's something else. And I'll wait for 10. Boom. All right. Well, nothing crazy popped up. So I think it's time to close this episode out. So I'll be back tonight on the High Council on Geeks and Gamers channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to that. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you got your bell notification turned on too, because a lot of times our live notifications are not going out there and our videos are not getting out there. Does everyone know that I made a single release video on Friday? So they're not reaching the same way they are. YouTube's algorithm is messed up. Hopefully we can figure out a way to get back into its good favor. And I think I have figured it out. So everyone, let's get the thumbs up press. Let's get over to Good Morning Pop Culture's proper channel. And we can get that on its own thing so this show can thrive over there. And World-Class Bullshitters can thrive under its own power. And everyone wins. So Stealing Solo has 5 more days. It'll end this Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So at the stroke of midnight, when I hit 30, this comic book is no longer available to be purchased. So if you guys have been thinking about a copy, make up your mind and grab one. And let's see. People are glad I was on longer. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow though with more. I gotta find out what we're gonna cover on tomorrow's show now, because today was a great show. Yesterday was an even better show. Let's have some fun. Let's keep this rolling. And guys, be prepared for some live streams as well as some other things coming at you. Another video. So thank you to everybody. If you're a patron, be on the lookout. You're gonna get your They Live commentary tomorrow. So we're really doubling up on the patron content because we really want to let you guys know how much we appreciate you. So I don't have a Discord yet. We have to make sure it's safe to do a Discord because some of the Facebook posts have gotten out of hand. So we kind of learned a lesson in advance that not everybody can be trusted. And some people have reached out. Some person's even in the chat, and it's not you. So you know who you are. Believe me, if you think you're guilty, you're probably not the one I'm talking about. But don't let that ruin your fun. We've made sure we looked at all the stuff. Everything's going good now. And we won't let one bad egg spoil it for everybody. So we'll look into Discord, but we got to make sure it's it's everyone's involved is protected. Will there be a reprint of Stealing Solo if the demand is high? It would have to be higher than the demand of, I don't know, a reprint of Dark Knight Returns or something. No, I mean, it would have to be something stupid, like some TV show was like, oh my God, this comic's great, they need to reprint it or something stupid like that, then maybe. But until, Chris Hardwick goes on there and says, hey, we need a new copy of Stealing Solo printed or something, this is it. So tell Chris Hardwick, tell the Mythbusters, tell everybody that would like this story, hey, promote this. Maybe other people can get a chance at it. Maybe. But, you take that into account, the possibility of that happening, that's the same amount of possibility that we'll re-release it. So thanks, folks. I appreciate it. And don't worry. Don't let the Facebook thing scare you off. We got a great community, a lot of great people. It's a good time. That's what this channel's about, a good time. So I'll be back later, and I'll be talking to you guys tonight.